Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. Crusader Nation, what the hell is going on, man? It's gonna be one of them ones, man. Appreciate everybody for tapping in. Crusader Nation, y'all know what time it is. Mars is in the building, holding shit down. I see y'all, man. Mike Dub, I see you. The Sosa, I see you. J Anime, I see you. JC, what up? You already know what time it is. It's gonna be one of them ones. We're gonna discuss self-awareness today, which I feel like is super, super important. But before we do, man, I just want to say prayers up to Florida. I know Florida is going through that hurricane situation, and we from Texas, so that right there, taps a different spot in my life. I want to say y'all boys just be safe out there, man. Take care of y'all family. Make sure that everybody is good. Um, but yeah, tonight, before we take this thing any further, man, I just want to introduce these amazing panelists we have on stage with us. First and foremost, we have Miss B. Taylor in the building with us, Beatbox Taylor herself. We got Miss Saida in the building with us, Queen Sheila in the building with us, Miss Lucky Marie in the building with us, Beatbox Roman in the building with us. OT is in the building with us, and last but not least, y'all know who the hell look he muted. He got to his bag. We couldn't even hear him. Look at
lit like a mug.
I know he was talking shit.
Yo.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
The Dean
Himself, goddamn me, in the
yes,
flesh.
sir.
I might disappear on camera. Yeah.
Say, boy, it's gonna be one of them ones. I am D-Trail AC, man. Y'all know what time it is. Like I said, before we get started, pardon me. First and foremost, how's everybody doing, man? Mental health check. Y'all know how we do this thing. Everybody all right?
Yes, sir.
I say it's a lot going on.
Hell no, I'm about to tear the world down. Yeah.
Hey,
I got some shit to say tonight.
I need everybody to make sure that next week y'all have y'all drinks in y'all hands so we can make a toast. Because my birthday is on the next show. You feel
Facts.
me? Next Wednesday.
Yeah.
The dog turning 80 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a special episode next week, man. My boy turned 46, and
Chill
Yeah.
out.
Really?
He knows.
Real.
Grandpa O. We gonna change his name to Grandpa O. No more Ricky Romance.
It is
Sugar
Papa.
Daddy,
You know
yo.
what I'm saying?
34.
No more Spanish Poppy.
Yeah.
His how you say grandpa in Spanish?
Abuelo.
Abuelo papi.
Abuelito.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Next year you're gonna see him with a cane. Yeah.
Kill, man. Y'all should have seen him in a club that night. But that's another conversation. We get this thing going.
Hey, don't worry about it. I can show y'all.
You're right. In the middle of the club this past Saturday.
He was the one that was sleeping. I saw it.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
I
God.
told them ahead of time. I know myself. You feel me? It was that time. It's time to go to 1 o'clock. I'm not young no more.
I feel you.
He said, I gotta lean into it. But look here, man. Before we get this thing started again, I just want to. Oh, look, see these boys are showing love.
Lord.
Hold on. Before we get this thing started,
Well,
Lucky.
ain't no serious. Lucky, look here, man.
That boy got the rings out tonight, Jim.
Early, not playing no games. Ain't no stare. We definitely appreciate you, bro. That's a hell of a way to start this thing off. But like I said, man, tonight we are going to discuss self-awareness. So this should be a hell of an episode, man. I'm interested in hearing everybody's takes on these questions we got. But before we get this thing started, man, if y'all haven't liked the stream yet, make sure y'all stop what y'all doing. Like the stream, man. Show your love, show your support. It's gonna be a hell of a conversation. But as y'all doing that, first question of the night is, if you had to describe yourself with just a couple sentences, what would that description be? And as always, we're gonna start off with B. Taylor first to jump this thing right off.
Okay. Well, I thought the question was 3 words, so that's all I can elaborate. So 3 words that describe me: bold, outgoing, and an overcomer. And I say bold because I am someone who will get on stage in front of thousands of people, regardless if I'm scared or I don't feel as confident or I don't feel like I look right. I'm gonna get up and do it. Like even just like when I talk to different celebrities, like last night I was taking a photo with certain people and I was like, no, we got to do this photo again. We look crazy. And I wasn't scared to say that. And that says a lot. And I went by myself to this event and met like 4 different people that I was cool with. So I would go into saying bold as in I'm a social butterfly. I'm outgoing. I'm not scared to like, make friends and talk to people. I was the kid that said my Easter speeches on point, period. And then an overcomer. I would say an overcomer because I've overcame a lot of stuff in life, overcoming a house fire and losing everything and rebuilding it back up with my kid. We lost everything. And the fact that I was able to overcome something like that, still go to work, still do life, overcome losing people in my life, and just overcoming heartbreak. So I would say that I didn't let my mistakes or things that happened to me define me, and I overcame them.
Okay, well said, man. We're gonna go right to Smooth. If you had to describe yourself in a couple sentences, what would it be?
I don't know, man. Y'all know I'll be all over the place with it, man. I'm ferocious with my life, man. I don't know, fool. You gotta come back to me, man. I don't know. I'm everything. I'm everything.
All right. Well, look here. As we think about it, Booker Ronan in the building and on stage.
I got it.
First show of love. Damn. OT's birthday and pre-season appreciation time. Look at me. We appreciate you, bro.
Look, I got you.
Big time. Damn.
I would describe
That's why we had to
myself.
bring you on stage.
I would describe myself as a chameleon. I am great in any setting. Any setting you put me in, I can care less who in the room. I'm gonna know at least 90% of the people in that bitch. I'm gonna know something about them. Conversation gonna be great. I'm gonna leave like when we leave, you gonna know who I am. I may not know your name, but I'll always know your face. You get what I'm saying? So I would say I'm a super chameleon. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I would agree with that. If y'all listen to the pod, y'all already know I say all the time, Smooth and O is the people persons out of our group for sure. I'm way more of an introvert. Kenny, same way. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what bro is saying is a fact. So I done literally seen him walk in the room, not know a soul in there. And at the end of the day, everybody just circled around Smooth, bro. Just got a certain charisma. And Oda the same way. So yeah, I would agree with that notion. Miss Queen. You had to describe yourself in 3 sentences. I mean, not 3, but just a few sentences.
I got you. The first one is I'm warm. I'm a warm person. And what I mean by that, like when I have guests over, they always say, man, I've never slept, this is the first time I've slept so well in a home. So I feel like I create this warm and inviting space for people. If you get to know me personally, I'm warm. I'm a mother, even though I'm not a biological mother. And what I mean by that is I create a safe haven for people. People trust me. Strangers trust me. Men trust me. Women trust me. Children trust me. I know some of people's deepest secrets, and I have not repeated any of them. People come to me when they're in need. And what I mean by that is not financially, but emotional need. They're needing to think through things, talk things out, vent a little bit, and then like reach a solution. I am Ruth and I am Naomi. Sometimes I'm the student. Other times I'm the teacher.
I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, if you had to describe yourself, few sentences, what would it be?
A few sentences ain't enough. But I don't know. The first thing I would say is outgoing. I think that's easy. The second one will be that I'm a good listener. I think since I've been like a kid, like I don't mind just sitting and chopping it up. You got some problems going on, or just anything. I'm a good listener. I like to take in receive game. Like I'm not afraid to ask questions, not afraid to look crazy. I'm not afraid to say what's on my mind. Like, you know, if I'm an ass, I'm an ass, you know? So that'll be 2. And then 3 would probably be, I would say patient. I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of layers to me that a lot of people really don't know. But I would say patience. I have a lot of patience. And I just had to learn that, you know, from an early age, being the oldest of 5 boys and having to be the leader and, you know, figure out my own way, figure out my own path. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to be a trendsetter or trying to be a trailblazer for, you know, my little brothers, because I knew they was watching me. So even though if it wasn't necessarily the right thing, it wasn't like some way off, you know, being in the streets, selling, you know, stuff like no, I'm supposed to do, because I'm like, I got 4 little dudes, you know what I'm saying, looking after me. So I had to really exercise patience and just know to take a step back and kind of, you know, analyze things sometimes. So, yeah.
I would agree. Knowing you that, yeah, that all those definitely make sense for sure. I would agree. Miss Aida, you got to describe yourself in a few sentences, man. What would it be?
Mm, well, I would say I'm genuine, I'm confident, very committed in everything I do. I'm respectful. I'm very funny, even though sometimes I don't look funny, but I am. I'm very generous. I love outdoor activities. I'm not the most patient person in the world, I would say. I have problems with that. And I definitely suck at multitasking. I can't multitask, it's a problem. But I like to motivate others. So I consider myself a natural introvert, selective extrovert. That's it.
Natural introvert, selective introvert. I like that one. I like that one. Ronan, you got to describe yourself, bro. A few sentences, man. What would it be?
I say I'm a resilient ambivert. I'm good with people at a certain time, but then most times I have to get away to recharge. Been in the worst situations and came out on top, and it literally scared the shit out of people, even myself. The second thing is, like, I like to see the greatness out of people. I enjoy being around salt of the earth type of people. I'll motivate them to see the best out of them, and that's what drives me to do, you know, bring the best out of myself. So in leading by example, I'm more protective about those around me or who I care about. And the third thing is, I'm perfectly flawed. I'm too judgmental to myself to a point, but I'm learning to use every failure as an opportunity to grow and learn how to be an active listener and a passionate giver. And outright asshole principles when it comes to defending people who can't defend themselves.
Hell of a description.
Hey, when
Hell
you
of a
judge
description.
yourself like that keep you sharp, though. I like that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Miss Lucky Marie, you got to describe yourself. Couple sentences, man. How would it be?
Okay, a couple. So I would say I'm very naive. I can be naive a lot. By trusting people too soon, that has got me in a lot of unfortunate situations. Not because I am bad. I can be too friendly where I just think, oh, they're cool. They would never, right? But they would. So I'm also very loving, but I also can be very, very dismissive to you. So I have this thing that is very bad where I can be very, very loving. You just always want to be around me. And then I'll snatch it. And then I will ghost you. I'm not the girl that, oh, I just got to call him. No, I will go to sleep just fine while you squirm. So that's something that is not something good. But I'm also like, I'm a little bit of an introvert. It's like I'm a Gemini. So one thing about my sign is I want to be social, but also leave me alone. So like in places in social settings, I don't like a whole lot of people in my face. You know, I don't really, but it comes off like I'm not friendly, but I am. You got to get to know me. But for the most part, you have to know when to kind of get out of my face. You know what I'm saying? So I could be a bit hard to read, but I like my space, but I also like to be around people. So I don't know what that's called. But and I'm very hard to compassion is hard for me because I've been through a lot. So I feel like a lot of times people whine about a lot of things they can get over. So it's very hard to be sympathetic to people when I feel like their issues aren't that big. So yeah.
Damn, y'all are knocking these answers out the park, man. I'm being honest. I didn't expect this much depth, but y'all getting in y'all bag. Shit, if I had to describe me, man, I would say complicated would be the first word that comes. You know, I feel like I'm a natural born leader, but I feel like I'm an introvert as well. I'm not really a fan of people, to be honest. I like spending a lot of time by myself. I like to read a lot. I like to like. I'm a like analytical person. I'm always studying something. I'm always trying to sharpen the blade. Like winning is not enough. Like winning is a relief. Losing is devastating to me. Um, so that's how I move. In terms of how I am with people, super loyal, super loyal to everybody around me. It ain't a stain on my resume. Can't a nigga walk in this earth say, "Oh, Trill did him wrong," or "Trill finessed him," or "did this, did that." So like super loyal. And you know, just solid. Resume is everything to me. Family man, of course. Shout out to my old lady. Shout out to my baby. Um, yeah. So again, just complicated. It just depends on the day. Certain days I can be the life of the room. Other days I just want to sit in the back and just watch things and just analyze things. So if I had to, you know, give it in a couple sentences, that would be that. But you know, everybody got to express how they view themselves. Now we're gonna get to how other people view you, and we got to be honest here. I don't want to hear no tailor-made, cliche answers that mirror what you said before. If other people had to describe you in a few sentences, what would that description sound like? Ms. B. Taylor, we're gonna come right back to you.
So I asked a sister and a close friend, and then I'm gonna go to Queen Sheba because she actually know me pretty well. So with my sister, she said I'm ambitious, loving, and calculated. And then my friend, loving, beautiful, and feisty. And then I'll go to Queen Sheba. Like maybe she can tell y'all.
Wow. All right.
Be honest. Be honest.
Okay.
Break the
Definitely a true feminine woman to her core, inside and out, which is a beautiful thing, and it's natural. She's gentle, a soft spirit, but she's a force to be reckoned with. And she's stubborn.
Okay.
That's what I got.
Thank you.
That make a lot of sense, especially the last one. Smooth. If other people had to describe you, what would it sound like?
That I'm the realest in the room. That's what they gonna say, man. They gonna say shit. He gonna give you his last, even if he ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give you some real game. I ain't gonna be biased either side. Shit. But most of all, they really gonna say I'm the realest. I would say that. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna say that's what that you need some information. You got a problem with something, you need to know somebody, or need to get a hold of somebody or something. You need something. I know somebody. So that's me. That's what they would say about me.
That's a fact, man. That bro be having he always know how to get something done. That's one word I would definitely use to describe bro is resourceful. That's a fact.
As hell.
Yeah. He coming out of nowhere with it, guy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Miss Queen. Other people had to describe you. And B. Taylor, get your answer ready for it too. Because we got on-hand experience here. But you know, Queen I want Queen to elaborate first. If other people had to describe you.
It's okay. So I asked two people, and both of them used one of the same word, which was smart. And pardon me for a moment, I'm about to brag. I'm smart as fuck. I really am. I gotta own that. I'm gonna own that as a woman. But I gotta give you the background. I became smart because I used to get bullied as a kid. So I used to hide out in the library until they left so I wouldn't get my ass whooped. And as you know, I had to read books and peruse the aisles and talk to the ladies. And it just became like this place for me to go, right? I became really smart. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm just like, damn, what does God want me to do with all of this? And I'm still finding my purpose and my way to share that, so that I'm not just honing or hoarding that gift for myself, but also sharing it with the world, mostly women, right? My husband said, and I may be saying it wrong, he couldn't think of the English word, and he speaks both English and Spanish, but he said valiente. And then I was like, well, look it up. And he looked it up in English. He goes, it's brave. He's like, you're brave. And I am brave. Like, I'm the one that, listen, I'll throw the first punch if I have to to get them up off me or you. You know what I'm saying? I choose not to, but it is what it is, right? Don't let the smooth taste fool you. And then also, I'm probably resilient. I'm going to bounce back no matter what. Don't count me out, because I'm coming. So, yeah.
Okay. Miss B. Taylor, you done had some time. I need to hear the real queen. Don't give me that. I need to hear the real queen.
I would say she's the comment was perfect. Hospitable. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Whatever. You're a place of healing.
Hospitable.
Hospitable. I can't say that right now, but yeah, that would perfectly describe you, just with your home, how you make people feel to open up to you. It does feel like a safe place, and when I do get off the phone with you, I feel like, whew, like I feel like better. Like I just, like there was some healing energy there. And I would definitely say very, very, very intelligent. That's why I wanted her to come on this platform, because I said they can't mess with you up here, because people don't really push back on what you're saying. You don't come up here just saying whatever. You come up here with a lot of intelligence, and a lot of knowledge. Very knowledgeable woman. And I would say a mentor. Like, you mentor so many women and men in your life, and that's why people come to you and they keep coming back to you. And I would say somebody not to F with, because you got a side to you. That Scorpio energy is that I got on her side. I said something one time and she checked the fuck out of me, and I was like, and I was like, I've never seen this side. And I was like, oh, I know not to ever go there with Queen, because Queen you got her effed up.
Thank you, B. I appreciate that.
For some reason, that last part don't really surprise me like that. It's just certain people you could just tell, right? They may put on but you could tell like that there's extra layers there for sure. Okay, I like that. Oh, if other people had to describe you, what would that description sound like?
So I just last minute texted a few people. My brother said, Red, who is the one under me, he actually gonna be 30 tomorrow. So he said people gravitate towards you. He said, I don't know what to use for that. And he said, but you are responsible. So you're very responsible. And I'd agree, because I had to take on a big shoulder load as a kid. So it was like, ever since then, it just became like a part of my DNA. And then my mood lady said, patient, outgoing, and creative. And I'm super creative. I think outside the box. I try to challenge things. People that really know me, like, I'm like an artist. I can sing a little bit, not the best, but I can carry a tune. I can dance a little something. I can do a little drawing. Like, I'm like a jack of all trades in a sense. And for the longest, like, I really struggled with that, because I was like, I'm not just great. I'm not the best drawer. I ain't the best singer. I can do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was super good on the football team, basketball team, but I wasn't the best. But I always made an impact in some kind of way. So, yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Smooth. Do you agree with what everything bro said? If you had to get your description.
Oh, and I'm funny. Yeah. I honestly, I think I'm the funniest one in the group. You know what I'm saying? I may not give it to y'all, but I might be a little funny to y'all.
That's big cap. Big cap.
I'm up there, dog. I think I'm up there, bro. I'm up there.
You second. You right.
Okay.
You
See?
You know what I'm saying? And singing wise, you second. You second. But everything else, that was right.
I agree, man. Because first off, always my cousin, like real cousin. I don't know if anybody knew that or not.
Cousin.
Yeah, like real cousin. Like our daddy is our first cousin's cousin. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean the vibe I got from O just always been like, I don't know, just like steady. He ain't gonna get too far high. He ain't gonna get too far down. He gonna be steady. He gonna be like the soundboard of reason always. Because again, just like me not liking or not liking people somewhat or whatever the case may be, like my emotions kind of go up and go down a bit. I'm not the most trusting person. Like you gotta like really earn your spot and like to have me as a friend or things like that. But like a lot of times I may overreact sometimes or I may get, whatever, but always is always that one you can go to. Hey bro, what you think about this? And he gonna give you that sound. Hey bro, you need to consider this or you need to look at that. You know what I'm saying? To keep you kind of grounded somewhere. So that's what I would describe bro as. Yeah, if I had to give my summation. But all right, Miss Saida, if other people had to describe you, what
Yeah.
would that description sound like?
So before I share any of these comments, I want to invite everybody to do it. Um, Instagram has this feature where you can add the little box, and I did this back in 2020. I was going through a certification, and that was part of the homework to ask people how they perceive you, or what's their thoughts about you. And it was really interesting because you are not only asking for the positive aspects or the positive qualities, but they're also going to be sharing negative things. So you have to be very, very, open when you do this activity. But some of the things they said is joyful, hardworking, optimistic. There's not a boring moment around me. Super energetic. Um, Honesty, craziness, responsible, hardworking. But one of the ones that caught my attention is this one. How do I feel when I'm around Sayed? It says, I've always felt motivated to do better since you have an aura of success. Your presence is someone beyond their years of wisdom, and your confidence is contagious. But the one that I felt like, you know, but there are those that may find it difficult to adorn because, sometimes my honesty is dangerous, and my honesty can come off at times just as harsh and like harsh truth, slightly belittling. I guess that's how you pronounce the word. I'm not sure.
Belittling.
Belittling. Yep. And I come as a teacher, as an educator, and some other stuff. Stubborn, that's for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Honesty up here tonight. I like it. And we getting some good qualities and some bad. I like it. Ronan, other people had to describe you, G. What would that description sound like?
Pretty intuitive. I can show people the best out of them that they didn't see in themselves, or when it comes to sarcasm, I can surgically destroy them. When it comes to being given, I give from the heart. I don't ask for anything. I'm not an Indian giver, but when crossed, it said it's better to ask the devil for ice water than to cross him. When it comes to let it be known, to be honest, I keep it blunt. I don't want to live a lie. And my thing is my word means a lot to me. If I say I owe you something, I make sure you get it. Even if it puts me in a situation, I'm gonna continue to work because my word means a lot more than just some little debt or whatnot. And when it comes to helping other people, I take pride in it. I make sure that they're good, not just good at the moment, but make sure they can move on as they need to. As far as anger, I tend to separate myself because it can be like Mount Vesuvius. So that's me being honest with myself with that. But when it comes to it, creative, as an artist, doing poetry, drawing, graphics, I lose myself to find the best of myself. And then those around me, I see something in them, I make it a point to flesh it out so they can see the beauty within themselves. That's what he said.
I like it. Miss Lucky Marie, if other people had to get a description of who Miss Lucky is, what would that sound like?
I feel like I align a little bit with Sayeda. because it depends on who you ask. Because you got some hating ass bitches, you know. If you ask them, they gonna say something. But we gonna focus on the good people. So they would say that I am motivating, accountable, but also I don't see myself the way other people see me. You know, so I'm very bashful and shy. I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm a little bit reserved. I would say I'm also loving and a breath of fresh air to a lot of people. So, and I'm very spiritual. So, and I'm trying not to cuss. They would say I cuss probably a little too much. But yeah, that's pretty much what I would say. If you focus on the good people, we can go down a list. But I'm not stubborn or nothing like that. They will never say that, but they will say Lucky has one hell of a wall up. Like I can be very friendly, but I also people could think that they're accessing my feelings, but they're really not. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a defense mechanism thing. So I don't know that I'm doing it, but I definitely have been told by a lot of people I'm very guarded. So yeah.
Okay, man. This is man. Thing is, this is a added benefit. I didn't even expect this, but I think it's dope for everybody that watched this panel to kind of get some background information on everybody up here. So it's dope people giving their descriptions, things like because we all come on here and we give our opinions on the topic. Right. But I think context is very, very important. So I think now people are getting a way better understanding of y'all, you know, and us, or if they've been subscribed to the pod, then they already know how we are. But I think, you know, more so for y'all, you know, I think this is dope. In terms of how other people describe me, like the thing about me, man, is that I'm very opinionated. So you're gonna either love me or you're gonna hate me. It's gonna be one of the two. It's either I'm the realest nigga you ever met, or I'm the most arrogant, or disrespectful, or not disrespectful, maybe like dismissive, or you know whatever. Like, but it's gonna be one extreme or the other. It's not gonna be like you're not gonna hear my take on something and be like, okay, whatever. Just feel a sense of indifference. I feel like I'm like hard pressed. I don't believe in gray area. I don't. It's black or white with me, with everything. You know what I'm saying? And when you are that truthful, and when you are that like sound in your truth, you're gonna create enemies. And I've done a lot of that. If y'all are familiar, I know y'all familiar with the pod and different shit like that. But you know, even dating back to Twitter and shit like that, like I made a name for myself for being, you know, super polarized and super this and super that. And again, you got one sector that loves me to death. Oh, he a real one. He gonna tell it like it is. He gonna do this. He gonna do that. And you got another one say, oh, he a misogynist, or he a, you know, panderer, or he a this or he a that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it just kind of depends on who you ask, and being more in line with what Lucky said. But I think, you know, if you ask the guys about me, they're gonna say that I'm just solid. You know, I'm just solid. I'm gonna look out for the whole gang. I'm gonna make sure everybody eat before I do. I'm gonna make sure everybody is good. Like, you know, I'm the voice of reason. You know what I'm saying? So if you know, because just like I'm a bit, you know, polarizing, bro, them ain't ain't the most, you know, level either. Sometimes they get a little, you know, get super emos or super like, you know, whatever. So they'll come to me for that same way, the same way I come to O for it. So I would say that they would describe me as probably like the voice of reason, like, you know, a bit cocky sometimes, sure. But I mean, I'm accomplished, so that kind of comes with it. But yeah, but just again, just in general though, I would say most people, like if you ask 10 people who don't know me from the outside, you probably gonna get 10 different answers.
That's deep.
If I'm gonna be real.
Probably would.
So in the chat, they want to know what your sign is, Trill.
Capricorn.
Toxic.
whoa. Put the brakes on.
Libra gang, y'all know what it is, baby.
Hey,
my husband's a Libra.
Monday, by the way.
Scorpio Nation.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm with the Aries gang, man.
My little brother Scorpio.
Saida.
I am a Leo.
A Leo. Yeah. Okay, she's a hunter.
Well, I don't look like one, right?
She's an outdoorsman. She be outside all the time, so that makes sense.
Well,
But
we
yeah,
are all toxic. Like if you say one sign, everybody, oh, toxic. If you say another one, oh,
Of course.
toxic.
They don't never say it about Aries. Ever.
She.
Oh no, they're the most toxic. What are you talking about?
Top two, not two.
Real rap. But yeah, so we gonna, again, the title of this pod, man, is called Self-Awareness. We gonna pay some bills real quick, and then we're gonna get right to the video because we're gonna respond to the video, and I got some follow-up questions on the back end of that I feel like is gonna spice things up a bit. That's why I wanted to set the foundation. Y'all know how we do here, man. We got to set the foundation, we got to define things, we got to whatever. So when the video is played, we know the context that everybody is speaking from. But before we go forward, man, we're gonna go on and pay some bills. First and foremost, we got Miss Misha. Appreciate the 2-piece. Finally catch the live. Get the likes up. That's a fact, man. If y'all are in the building, if y'all ain't like the stream, stop what y'all doing. Make sure that y'all like the stream. Make sure that y'all show love, man. We appreciate it. If you enjoy the content that you're seeing, man. You gonna keep this thing moving. I seen your little podcast. Hey, salute the little podcast, man. We got to tap in with bro. 25 pennies for everyone. Thoughts, broken dusty. Shout out to bro, man. Shout out to the shop. Folks been trying to recruit me over there, man. So love the bro. Miss Island Girl is in the building, so he an earthy man. Oh, damn, she talking about Ronan.
Mm-hmm.
Ronan,
I have a Capricorn moon, so yeah, it pops out. Yeah.
All right, well, bro ain't
I
denied.
I don't know all that stuff.
Huh?
Capricorn moon and the Mercury retrograde.
Yeah, that's
I don't know all that.
That shit just went way over my head. You hear me? I ain't gonna lie to you. Miss Island Girl Q with the 20-piece, man. We appreciate it. Just showing love, man. We gotta get Island Girl up here one day to get her opinion on some of these issues that we be dealing with. We appreciate you. What this is, my boy Omar in the building with the 20-piece. I love all your conversations about relationships. Transparency is the key to a healthy relationship for both men and women. I would 1,000% agree, and that's what we're trying to get to, man. Trying to get to the meat of these situations, man. The real shit, so we can bring people together. Again, it's not a divisive platform. This is not what we come here for. So I appreciate you for noticing that, gang. Island Girl Q with the 5-piece. Smooth is a man of his word. He lost a bet against me and paid up. I never forget. Yeah, hey, if y'all was at that Houston show, that's what you're talking
realist,
about.
Man. Hey, I pay what I owe. Goddamn me, I pay what I owe. There's a few people that watch this pod. Hey, I owe 2 people. I haven't forgot. I got you. I haven't forgot.
Yeah, speaking of Owen, man, I said something last part that I plan on keeping my word on. I said we're gonna give $100 away randomly. I said that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we are. So again, you got to stick around to the end. When I ask for the cash apps, if you ain't here and you don't put your cash app in, you will disqualify yourself. But I'm gonna ask for the cash apps. We're gonna count to 30 seconds, and we just gonna pick one randomly. And whoever we pick randomly is gonna get the $100.
B, how much free cash we got?
I mean, a decent amount. How much you need, man?
We got a plethora.
Plethora cash.
I was asking a rhetorical question. Man, let's get 3 of them things away. Hey, man, y'all know how I'm feeling tonight. Let's get 3 of them things away. What y'all think?
Okay.
What y'all think?
Okay.
What's the question? What's the question?
My cash app down there too.
Okay.
We'll get 3 of them things away.
Birthday gift. What?
I like a little happy hour.
All right.
All right. Okay. We're gonna tap in a bit today. Okay, bro said three potentials, so we're gonna give $300 giveaways. Get $300 gifts away. But y'all gotta be around when we ask for the cash app. If you ain't around, you ain't gonna get it. That's just what it is.
Are the people on the panel disqualified from it?
You goddamn right.
No.
I might
I was
be the
already
random.
okay. One, it's mine. I was like
I
already
might
saying
be the
one.
random you select. I don't know.
They gonna drop down, try to get in the chat. I gotta step away for a second.
You gonna say cash out? All the cameras gonna go off.
I'll start one of my dog's name.
All the
I'll create a
cameras
cash
gonna
app
go off. That
for my dog.
Nah, it's all good, man. We go all right. 3 of them. So Congo English for the 10 piece. Not a fan of people either. In these times, especially, Trill, you are not complicated at all. God favors you. We are very few. Man, I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you for that one for sure. Jeffrey with the 5-piece. Salute to crew season. Booker Ronan is the J. Cole of giving one-liners of wisdom. I would agree, man. And again, that's why we brought him up, bro. Always got something profound to say that's gonna come from left field. So you know what I'm saying? He's definitely right about that one. Jeffrey again with the 10-piece. B. Taylor look like she the type of lady that loves living life to the fullest. She'll make your day when you're chilling with her. Mess with her. Check your eyebrows and hairline if you're sleeping. It's crazy.
That may be true.
Little Debbie in the.
Oh my god! Oh my!
This got to be logic. It got to be logic.
My god.
It got to be logic, dog.
That's logic.
That boy's a fool. Hey man, hey Logic, did you DM me, bro?
Oh my god!
Jeffrey with the 10-piece. B. Taylor when in calm mode, beautiful, charming, and just a cool person to be around. When in danger mode, fellas, you mess with her, you best check your hairline and your Jordans at least 3 times.
Damn.
And your gaming system.
Yes.
You know, from what I heard.
And pets.
You know what I mean? Cutting off gaming systems and shit. We can't look here. Congo English the 5-piece. I don't respect most men, but Trill, different strokes. Appreciate you, G. Appreciate you. Real rough.
Most men.
More money with the 2-piece. Sayeda, what's up, baby girl? You good? These boys be trying to shoot at Sayeda, man.
Sayeda got gang.
Red in the building. That's family right there, man. In the building. You say Big 30 and T-minus 1 hour and 30 minutes. Salute to crew and everybody on the panel. Get the likes up. That's a fact, man. If y'all ain't like the stream, make sure y'all tapped in, man, and like the stream, man. We appreciate all y'all. Salute to bro. Gail at night with the 2-piece. We appreciate it. Donating, man. Just showing love, man. We definitely appreciate you. Hawk with the 2-piece. Smooth voice. I'm praying on your downfall.
Goddamn me. Goddamn me.
Goddamn me.
Hey, when you wrong, dog.
I'm still tripping. That nigga saying about the old boy with the 3 kids begging to stay at his grandma's crib. Hey, if y'all ain't tapped into episode 116, man, make sure y'all tap into that, man. Smooth was goddamn hilarious on there. Tez the 5 with the 5-piece, man. Shout out to crew season from the 5100 podcast. Been following y'all for a minute. Keep pushing forward in these YouTube streets, man. We appreciate you, man. Salute, bro. Oh yeah, Bravo Tech with the hundo, man. We appreciate it. So let me pitch into the giveaway. Look here, man. We appreciate it.
Come on, man. We showing a lot of love tonight.
Bravo Tech in the building, man, with the hundo. All right. Since bro say we giving 3 away, I was gonna wait to the end, but why not start now? Hey, put the cash apps in the chat.
Yeah.
Right now. We're going to go on and get one out the way before we even get to the video, man. Hold on. Let me open up the Cash App app. Everybody put your Cash Apps in there right now.
Trail. I was going to
Why
send
we
you.
disqualified?
Okay, and Ricky is
disqualified. We're doing random. You know what I'm saying?
I was going to send you a form so they can enter it there, and then you just copy and do the roulette automatically. So it's fair.
I like that. Matter of fact, you know what?
I have it. It's done already. I can just send the link.
Send the link.
Cool. Yeah. Matter of fact, put it in the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
I'll say so we can do it live. Again, this is a black production, man. We was gonna freestyle it. You understand me? But Sayeda gonna make this thing a bit more organized, you know. So I like that. So yeah, we gonna click the she gonna put the link in the chat, I think.
I don't even have a Cash App.
Hey, I'm hoping.
Well, you got time. You better make one right now. We're gonna give it away 3 times.
I'm hoping whoever gets this one.
I thought we was disqualified.
Hey, I know I'm not getting picked, so I'm self-aware. that little thing Sierra putting up, that makes it fair. So everybody can go.
Yeah.
I like that. Hold on. Sayeda, you already put it in the chat?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
sent it here so you guys can check first before you share it.
Okay, I got you. Hold tight. Let me see. Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey, I am hoping the people that get this, bro. Like if you hurting, handle whatever you gonna handle. You get what I'm saying? But if you're not hurting, hey, bless somebody with a lunch or something, little lunch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like just bless somebody with it. If you ain't now, if you hurting, you need to pay some bills. Do your thing by all means. But if you ain't hurting, you ain't starving.
Huh?
The first is coming up.
Yeah, the first is coming up. You know what I'm saying?
First of the month coming up.
It might go to that light bill. You know.
All right,
we're
so
going to
hold on.
happy
Let me
hour
put it in
soon.
the. All right, I just put it in the chat, man. Y'all tap into the link. Make sure that y'all add y'all cash apps in there, and then I'm gonna
pin the link.
Yeah. Matter of fact, hold on.
Where's the link?
It's in the chat. He put it in there, but he about to pin it.
All right, yeah. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. Y'all make sure that y'all tap the link, put y'all cash apps in there, and then we gonna let Syed do a thing, and whichever name come up, that's what we going.
See who get paid.
It's gonna be good. I can't wait to see it.
I see them coming. I'm gonna share it with you so you can see it too.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, hold
it's
on.
pinned at the top.
Yeah, it should be at the top of the chat. Just go to the YouTube or whatever and pin it at the top. And again, while we doing this, man, y'all make sure that y'all like the stream, man. If y'all ain't like the stream, man, where else can you go that these type of things happen?
Share this live with your people, man. Get them in here, you know what I'm saying? And maybe they can win some money too.
For sure, man. Salute to Brianna. Always showing love, man, with the 20 piece, man. We appreciate it. That's love. All right, let me see, man. Hold on.
Hey, they say it's not up there.
They say it ain't up there?
That's what they saying in the chat.
You gotta populate it, like refresh it.
Yeah, refresh your. If you're watching it from your phone or from your computer, just refresh.
Refresh.
Come up.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get this.
That's your iPhone user. See if y'all had a Samsung, you know, it just pop up.
It's there now. It's there now.
Y'all see it?
Yep.
All right, man. We're gonna let this go for about 30 more seconds, and it's gonna be the first one. And then we're gonna come back around about midway, and we're gonna do it one more time. So I gotta make sure y'all put y'all cash apps in the second time and put them in the third time. We're gonna do it 2 more times. So where we at? We got about 5, 4,
116 answers.
Damn.
2, 1.
I put mine in there too, goddamn me.
Go on, close it.
Close it.
And shut it down. Who gonna get the first $100? I'm excited like I'm gonna get it, man. Who gonna get it?
I feel like it's gonna be me.
Yeah, I'm not a lucky man, so I know I'm not gonna get it.
He say, how do we know? Hey man, hey, y'all gotta know. Y'all gotta be tapped into the part. But yeah, so just sorry that when you pick it, just post it in the or can I click it and see? I don't know how it go. Jeffrey with the 5-piece lucky definitely live up to her name, a real blessing. But why she got that my feet hurt resting
It's
face?
the resting face. Y'all want me to be grinning like a mindless idiot up here? Just smile.
They say yep.
Why they be picking on me over here?
No man, lucky don't bother nobody, man. Y'all come in and just messing with her for no reason, bro. All right, let me see. So, all right, so do I just click on the form?
I actually have it here. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
We want to see. We want to make sure you ain't giving it to your friend Sayeda.
So.
Oh, okay, hold tight. Let me see. Oh yeah, I like this.
I like this.
So this one is just the test. This is just the test, okay?
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Tap in, man. Like the stream if y'all ain't like the stream.
Here we go. Here we go.
What other podcast doing this for y'all, man?
No whammy.
What other podcast doing this for y'all?
I like this, man. Y'all got me excited, man. Who gonna get it?
Wait, what? What happened? Wait, hold on. I gotta fix it. Sorry.
All right.
We were improvising.
That's that Queen
Hey.
Sheba.
I seen it. I seen the name. It was cool.
Wait, we were improvising. I did this in like less than 10 seconds, so give me 1 second.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good, man. We got time. We got time. Look, man. Hundo, who gonna get it? Real rap.
Ooh,
No cap. No cap in our rap, man. We gonna give it away.
Lord, hey, I ain't talked to you in a while, Lord.
Good night.
But you see the work I do for people out here, man. You know, I look out. You hear me? So look out for your boy. Let me be the best.
Lord, check my voicemail.
Diana, they said that you have blank spaces in the will that you have to clear them out.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay. But yeah, so again, man, as she's doing that, man, make sure that y'all tap the like button, man. If y'all ain't tapped the like button already, we appreciate look, they say y'all rigging the lotto.
Dang. Hey, that's how they do with the real lotto.
Right.
100 million. Oh, it can't go to no state that don't do state and federal. Anything over 100 million, all Texas people get out of here.
Straight up. I'm gonna send it to my boy so he can send me my cut.
Yeah, I
know how it go.
Like old boy from McDonald's was doing with them Monopoly.
Yeah, with them Monopoly. My dog was eating. Hey, if y'all ain't seen that documentary on that, oh my God.
Bro,
that boy had a
that
lick
nigga was
going.
telling people what $1 million pieces was.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm sending it over here. Go get it.
That's hilarious.
Dang.
But all right. But look here though. While we wait, man, while Syed I get it together, we just gonna play the video. Or Syed, are you ready to go right now?
Oh, she ready. Let's go.
Oh, you ready to go right now? Okay, shit. Let's go. Let's see it.
Here you go. I see all the names in there too. I see all the names. Like I said, let me be the vessel.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Don Leo with the
Leo.
All right. Hold on. Let me find bro.
Congratulations, King.
Is this just one or are we doing more?
Just one, man.
Just one
For
right
now.
now.
And then we're gonna do one a little bit later, and then we're gonna do one at the end.
I'm gonna remove him
King
because
Don
he's not
Leo.
gonna participate no more. So I'm gonna remove his name.
Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't need y'all walking away with a 3-piece. Come on now. Y'all niggas got to relax. Hold tight. Let me see. Season.
Oh, you gonna enter one time?
Yeah, you gonna enter one time, man. We don't need y'all, you know what I mean?
But if it's God's will.
Wait. All right, man. All right, let me see. We're gonna go on and send that thing through, man. What that say?
Sent, yeah.
Say it's sent.
All right. Don Leo, tap in, gang, when you get it. So again, we're gonna do another one about midway through this thing, and then we're gonna do one at the end. Salute to Don Leo, man, with the dub, leaving with the 100-piece, man. We appreciate the support, man. For sure. This is our way to give back, man, and just show love, man, for sure. But all right, we're gonna get to the video that everybody came to see. We're gonna play this clip since we done laid the foundation for self-awareness. I want to get everybody's take on themselves, and we're gonna play this clip, man. I want to get y'all response to what this young lady had to say.
The average woman on the range of 0 to 100 is like at 20 of being self-aware.
Mm-hmm. 20 out of 100?
Yes.
Oh.
Even if I ask, shout out to all the ladies in Before Boaz, give me 3 words to describe you. Mm-hmm. We do this exercise with our ladies. The 3 words they use, we go around the room and be like, would anybody have used that word to describe her? Mm-hmm. No. You don't even know how to describe you. So then when you get on a date with that man and he's like, hey, tell me about yourself. You go into what you do. Mm-hmm. You go into your roles, maybe whether or not you have kids. Mm-hmm. He didn't ask you what you do. Mm-mm. He asked you to tell him about you, but you can't answer that question.
As we always do, we're going to run this thing back one more time for the people that went to grab a drink, for the people that went to go fix a sandwich, We're gonna play this thing back, man, for y'all to hear one more time, and then I want to get y'all take on what she had to say.
The average woman on the range of 0 to 100 is like at 20 of being self-aware.
Mm-hmm. 20 out of 100?
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Oh.
Even if I ask, shout out to all the ladies in Before Boaz, give me 3 words to describe you. We do this exercise with our ladies. The 3 words they use, we go around the room and be like, would anybody have used that word to describe her? No. You don't even know how to describe you. So then when you get on a date with that man and he's like, hey, tell me about yourself. You go into what you do. You go into your roles, maybe whether or not you have kids. He didn't ask you what you do. He asked you to tell him about you, but you can't answer that question.
All right, thoughts on what she had to say. Smooth, we're going right to you first. On your thoughts that a lot of these women are just not self-aware. She said actually 20. She said if she had to like give a number, it'd be 20 out of 100 that just lack self-awareness. What's your take on what the young lady had to say?
Man, to be honest, I think that's something for the women, bro. That's something for the women to answer, bro. Like, I don't know. Like we only can go by what they tell us. And then we hold them to that. And if they don't meet that bar, then they bad at us. Like, we the ones set the foundation of this. So I would ask the women to go first to see if that's true.
All right. Well, look. Since you said that, I want you to pick a woman specifically that you want to pass your baton to go first.
Ooh, let's go Lucky with the mean self. Yeah, yeah.
I'm very sweet. No, absolutely not. I would say most people lack self-awareness. But since you want to talk about women, yeah, I'm gonna say women lack self-awareness because just from personal experience, we see the delusion in what they feel like they should get, like the basic conversations. But I'm gonna say self-awareness has a lot to do with you being conscious of your actions. Me, when I'm in conflict, I know when I'm being passive aggressive. So if you say I feel like you're being passive aggressive, I can tell yes I am, and I'm gonna tell you why. I know when I'm being dismissive. Sometimes people who lack self-awareness, they don't know how to control their emotions. They want you to understand. I said this because I was mad. I did this because of it. Doesn't matter if you were self-aware, you understand, okay, this is making me feel this way. Let me remove myself. I understand that this is a button. I understand this. Let me try to articulate it this way. You kind of move a certain way because you understand your reactions. You understand your emotions. You're aware of yourself. You're aware of the things that your triggers pretty much. So yeah, I'm gonna say most women aren't aware of their triggers, and most people lack self-awareness. That's why, or women, that's why sometimes when you hear things, your first reaction is to be defensive when you know it's the truth, instead of you just sitting in it and say, you know what, that's true. So that's what I think.
All right, man. We're gonna come right to O. Do you agree with what she said in terms of the lack of self-awareness?
So she's okay. I just want to make sure I understand that correctly because I didn't interpret it as 20 out of 100 women. It was like 20%, like they are 20% aware of themselves. Is that correct?
Yeah. So
Okay.
essentially what she said. Well, you know what? Do you need me to play it again?
Now I'm just making sure. I just wanted to clarify because
Okay.
I'm making sure it wasn't 20 out of 100 women, like on average.
Yeah. No. Basically, she's saying that there's gonna be a 20% accuracy rate in terms of like people, women. Well, she was talking about women, but I feel like it's a people thing. But we can, address the video first, and then I got some backup questions. So, what's your thoughts on that? In terms of like most of these women is just they ain't self-aware. They ain't gonna be accurate in terms of like who they really are compared to how they perceive themselves when they look in the mirror. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree. I wouldn't say 20. I'd say like 5. Yeah. Say about 5. No, player. No, because I think I can't really put a number on it, but I do think it's like it is difficult. but I've more so seen it in like the 20s, kind of once they get more mature and once they get older, once they experience life and kind of been through some things, then they kind of seem more aware, just in my experience. But definitely when they're younger, um, definitely it's just out of there. It's like not just being naive, just I don't know, just doing things and not really seeing that a consequence can come from it. Because a lot of times I think they have a safety net in various areas. So they feel they can make certain mistakes and not have to. Uh-oh. Is that me?
Hold on. Everybody mute up right quick. Go ahead, though.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So, and what I was saying. Oh yeah. So they like that self-worth because they never really, in a sense, they never had their feet to the fire. And I feel like a lot of times they'll learn once they go through something. They really have to go through something to then take a step back and then start analyzing things in more detail instead of being kind of reckless, in a sense. Because men, on the other hand, it's a lot of times that we know we don't have no safety net. So it's like a survival of the fittest. We have to prove ourselves. We have to work hard. We have to overcome different types of obstacles all the time on a consistent basis. So because of that, I think we learn a lot because we're making mistakes. We make a ton of mistakes. So through those mistakes, it's always a lesson learned. When on the other hand, I don't think women, really, they, like I said, they have more fluff room. They have safety nets in different areas. So it makes us, definitely makes us different. So I don't know about 20%. I can't necessarily give a number. And normally I give numbers, what I'm saying? But I don't know, maybe I say like 30, especially as they get 30, 40, especially as they get older. When they're younger, it may not even be 20.
I would agree. Miss Queen, you had to give your review on what this young lady had to say in this video about self-awareness, the lack of it. What's your take on that?
Okay, so my first call out is she said the average woman. The average woman. Okay. About 20% of the average women lack self-awareness. And when I think about average, most women will deduce that to looks, financial, or professional profile. You can have all of that and still be average in your behavior, the way you think, the way you present yourself, and how you show up. Okay. So when we think about that, I will say she's right. I do believe most women lack self-awareness. And when I say self-awareness, I'm not talking about a one-time thing, right? We all mess up. We all have bad days, highs, lows, ups and downs. And you got to give people the freedom and the flexibility to be human. I'm talking about repeated offenses, repeated behavior. Sweetheart, you lack self-awareness. If that's repeated over and over and over again, you lack the ability to be self-aware of how you're showing up, not only for yourself, but for other people. And I think when a woman isn't aware or is not being intentional in how she's showing up when she engages with other people, there's no way she can show it. I think it starts with yourself, right? Because once you become self-aware, you alter your behavior for yourself. And then that pours out to the people that you engage with. For me, self-awareness is sort of equivalent in a man's world to footwork. When you think about sports, the more precise he is with his footwork, he can create options on the playing field, right? And you guys describe it as, oh, that boy cold on his feet. Self-awareness gives you the same opportunity to be cold in your engagements, cold in your interactions, cold in whatever, to level the playing field. I think most women expect men and other people to adjust around them as opposed to us adjusting. That's my 2 cents on it.
It's a hell of a take, especially with that analogy, man. Foundation. Footwork's foundation for anything. Boxing, basketball, football, whatever the case may be. Your footwork's trash, you will be trash. There is no in between. So she definitely on point with that. Ronan, you got to give your take on, what the young lady had to say about the lack of self-awareness.
I I'd say the number is a little bit skewed. I say 2.5 are self-aware. Most of them will give you a detailed, I guess, summary of what their representative is, but far too many refuse to accept who they are and what they are. And they'll go in these little circles that will help them reassure that lie or that lifestyle that they're living. And most times they run into danger. They got a blankie, a safety net to live that lie until time hits them in the ass. Now they got to deal with reality. So I say in most cases, yeah, they lack that self-awareness. They're pumped up with these lies or these fishbowl filibusters, where they figure that they're more than they are. Some believe they're not average, and some about as average as bowling shoes.
Before I say bowling shoes, Saida, if you had to give your take on this thing, man, like how do you feel about what she said about the lack of self-awareness?
So the way I see it is that when people ask us to, how do you describe yourself immediately, the first thing is like, oh, I have to mention the positive qualities. Everything has to be positive. Just go back in the video and you'll see how do we describe ourselves who mention the negative things. That's being self-aware. Not just women, men as well. But since we're talking about women, it happens with women that we have the need to just say good things about ourselves because we think that's what the other person wants to hear. I am sure that I am not the most patient person in the world. And I make sure that the other person is aware of that because I am aware that I am not patient. So when the other person, hey, you're not being patient, so I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm not being patient. It's nothing wrong. We're not perfect. Just when you go to a job interview, they ask you for your strength and your weaknesses. That's what they're asking. If you're self-aware, if you say you don't have weaknesses, oh my God, that question automatically is a no for human resources. Simple, because that means that you're not self-aware. Even if you say, you know what, I am not good with multitasking, just like I said earlier, I'm not good. But you're being honest and they will appreciate the honesty. That's what it's about. Appreciating the honesty, knowing yourself. Now, self-awareness has three aspects or elements, we can call it. The I self is how I see myself. The me self is how others see me. And the ideal self, which is how I want others to see me.
Well said. Well said. Let me jump in and give my take on it. I agree. The lack of self-awareness, I feel like, is the main killer of relationships, because it's a situation where if I'm going into a relationship, right, the most vital part of it is us understanding each other. But how the hell can I understand you if you don't understand you? Right? So that meaning that the floor is going to move a lot, right? In terms of what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what it is that, what your quote unquote non-negotiables are, right? So I think that lack of self-awareness kills us. People are scared to be alone. They won't take the time to look in that mirror and have them hard conversations and have that hard evaluation. I'm talking about hard conversations with your damn self. Because if you ain't talking to yourself, you need to start. But just, self-evaluation, like that shit is of the utmost importance. Some people leave a relationship and jump right back into another one without fixing what the hell was wrong. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, let me take a minute, watch the game tapes, going back to the, sports analogy Queen just gave, and analyze what it is that I did wrong and make adjustments, right? Let me learn, because regardless of how the relationship ended, you could have did better. Regardless, relationship could have not even ended on your dime, but you could have did better in it. And somebody who's self-aware, going back to the title, would know that, and they're gonna make the necessary adjustments. So I feel like that shit is of the utmost importance, and most people are not self-aware. That's my take on it. Ms. B. Taylor, when you watch the video and she's speaking on the lack of self-awareness, what would be your response to what she had to say?
I thought she was gonna skip me. I was like, not being self-aware that I didn't go yet.
Never.
I wrote down something as everybody was talking, because for me, it took me a long time to realize that I was not self-aware. To piggyback off of what Sarah said, it's like, yeah, people are going to tell you their best self because those are things that they identify as as a person. I'm not going to tell you that I am an impatient person, because those are things that I want to work on to change. I'm going to tell you what you're going to get for a long run. I'm going to tell you what you're going to get for a lifetime, not my things that a season or things that I'm trying to work on to change and better myself. These are probably, I'm not going to show you my worst self while I'm trying to fix that. So that's one thing I kind of like noted, why I'm not going to sit here and tell you all of my flaws and negative things, because not everybody deserves to know my trauma or my pain or why I am the way I am. So I'm not going to give you all of that, because those are things that I don't aspire to always be. So I say, for when she said 20%, I think, if we're going to be honest, she's focusing on women, but I think a lot of people in today's society are not self-aware. Men and women. There's men out there who think they got it together. They think that they're the best thing since sliced bread. There's men out there running around saying that I'm a good man. Why can't I find a woman? When there's multiple things wrong with him, or why a woman won't stick around with him. There's a lot of women who are walking around saying they're good women, but obviously it's not showing up in their relationships or in their life or their work life or their friendships. You got women walking around talking about, I'm feminine, I'm a woman, but can't even build a true relationship with another woman. They don't even have women friends. They don't even like women. So how are you a feminine woman and you don't even like women? You're not in touch with your feminine side. So what I wrote down was, people mix up who they want to be and try to be instead of how they are actually showing up in the world. That's why it's hard for people to take in what others are saying to them, and it's hard for them to believe, because they're like, no, this is how I'm showing up. I am a good person. I am a good woman. I am honest. I am all these great things. But that's not how you're showing up in your relationships. That's not how you're showing up at work. That's not how you're showing up with your parents, your family. And if people are all telling you this, it's not everybody. It has to be you as well. And that's self-awareness. And for me, for the longest, I didn't know that I had, what's an example? Impulsive, or I overtalk people, or I'm not a good listener, where I'm like, well, why do I have all these friends that come to me and confide in me? But at the same time, I'm very like, sometimes I don't listen. And when somebody would tell me that, I'm like, no, I am. But finally, when I matured enough, because maturity is levels. It's not like, oh, I'm 18, I'm all suddenly mature. Maturity at 18 is different at 22. Maturity at 22 is different at 24, and so on. So I reached a point in my life where I'm like mature enough to accept that, because it hurts my feelings that I'm like, man, like that hurts that you think that about me. But I'm going to take that in now, because I'm mature enough, because I want to change. I want to be a better sister. I want to be a better friend. I want to be a better daughter. So I'm able to accept those things. But a lot of people are not ready for those conversations. And that's why they lack self-awareness.
Yes, B. Taylor. Yes, yes.
Go ahead, Ronan.
Just that I got smooth on the panel. Like, I remember you asked me a question about almost a month ago. Have I ever met a good woman? I admit yes, but at the absolute wrong time. And when I broke her heart, that cut deep. And that affected a lot of things from then on out. Like, look, it's about self-awareness. Like, thinking the grass is green on the other side. It's because there's a bigger pile of shit over there. That's what I learned.
Yeah,
Lessons.
yeah. Just real quick, I'm gonna ask y'all, like, in y'all dating experience, appreciable. In y'all dating experience, like, what ways has that lack of self-awareness shown up in the people that you've dated? If you just had to get one way for each person, I want y'all to think of like one way when you're dating somebody and it's like, damn, this motherfucker lacks self-awareness in this area specifically. If y'all could just name one in all y'all relationship experience, what would it be?
I'll fall on the sword first. When it came to dating, most times, and it happened, I had to repeat the same lesson. I fell in love with the idea of what they should be to me versus what the reality of what they were. And when I ran into the first one, she was trash. But we're not gonna talk about stinky dildo. The second one was even worse. Again, if you don't learn that first lesson, you're gonna repeat it, but then it's gonna hit it 10 times harder. but that person is going to basically hit you in areas that you didn't think was going to happen, more socially, psychologically, spiritually, to the point where you tell that person, for your safety and my sanity, this cannot go any further. I have to leave. So that's a level of self-awareness to where you don't want to go at that deep end and have to learn that lesson. When you see it for what it is and it's consistent, you know what you need to do.
Yeah, that's bars right there. This is a free flow. I ain't gonna call names. Y'all want to jump in?
I'm gonna jump in. For me, staying too long. Stop, men and women, stop staying too long. I think Black people have this infinity to show loyalty. You don't owe nobody nothing when they are inconsistent with you. You have the right to move the hell along. I think we stay too long. So that's probably one of the things that reoccurring themes that I've seen with myself. Staying too long, showing too much patience, too much kindness. Get the hell on when people are inconsistent. Go find your right one. Go have a little fun, live life. That's it.
I would go after, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would say two things come to mind. One, I had to be aware that I was always one, I want the long-lasting relationships and all this. But then if you do something, oh no, I'm out of there. Cut it off. Nope. But it'd be like, then you looking like, dang, I don't be sticking around long. And then it's always the calling. Nope, you had your chance. I very self-aware that I don't like to argue. And if I say something, if we have a conversation, I expect change after the conversation. I'll grant you 2 more other conversations. We're not about to just be having conversations about the same thing. Either you stupid or I'm not getting the message across. So we need to make some changes. So that was one of the things I had to realize, because when I start to think that a person is not understanding the communication, in my tone, I talk to you like you're stupid. So it's not that I try to, but I'll start to say things like, so you couldn't just go on Google. Like, I'll start to do things, and then I had to realize, why are you talking like that? You know what I'm saying? That comes off, rude. And I don't realize, but I feel like, it's bad, y'all. I'm working on it. But the other thing I would say is I had to become very aware that when in dating, because I didn't understand what I meant to those people. As soon as I felt away and I disconnected, I left those people with unresolved feelings, words that they wanted to talk to me about. They wanted closure. I don't know why y'all work with me, y'all. I don't know what's this thing where people want closure all the time. It was closed when we had the conversation. All this other stuff. Can we be friends? No, we cannot. We can't. You know what I'm saying? So it's the thing where people want to still be around, and I have a really hard time with understanding and accepting what I could mean to that person. So I feel like now I understand that I will give, sometimes you owe people a conversation, not because you agree, but because it's owed to that person. And I would say going forward, I'm more aware of, sometimes it's the way that I deliver messages that can get me the results that I want. If I'm talking to you in a way like you're a fucking idiot, I have to kind of talk in a different way. You know what I'm saying? If I want the results, or to make you know that I still care about you. So those are the two main things.
Yeah, I guess I'll jump in here. Man, the way lack of self-awareness showed up in past relationships, just relationships in general, in my experience, I think people can't necessarily separate what would appease them from what would appease you. What I mean by that is in terms of giving. Like, you have some people that are super giving, but selfish at the same time. As crazy as that oxymoron sounds, but it's real. You know what I'm saying? And selfish in by means of not taking the time to actually learn what it is that you value. But I'm gonna give you this gift. Or I'm gonna do this for you, this act of service for you, because this is what I would value. Right. So you should appreciate it because I would. Right. So now it puts you in a position where it's like, well, if I don't show the same gratitude, or if I don't react in the way that you want me to react, now I'm ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that right there is a lack of self-awareness. The fact is, a lot of people are selfish in relationships, and these are people that love you to death. And a lot of times, it may not even be intentional, but it's just again, you ain't sat them down, or they hadn't had that tutelage before they got to you to understand that hey, everybody that you deal with is different. Like if we're in a relationship, we should be constantly analyzing each other, constantly. Because the person I fall in love with on day one, it's not going to be the same person 5 years later. You know what I'm saying? In terms of things that please them or things that excite them or what they value, right? So it's my job to be on top of that. And if I'm not, then that's going to lead to the detriment of the relationship, right? So that would be mine. Again, just people not being able to separate what it is that they value from what you value, and then crucifying you for not valuing what they value. You know what I'm saying? In they acts of service or in they acts of giving. So that would be a way of like
for a minute. Can we let that cook? Because that is the one right there.
Deacon Trill.
Go on, pass that plate around a little bit.
brother, get it around on that side, the left side right there. They got the money over there.
Just make sure it don't touch my hands. I'm putting my hand in the pot. I'm taking stuff. Yeah.
Nah. Get this nigga out the church immediately.
Don't ask no questions.
No questions. Just give the money. But yeah, so again, this is that's why I asked. But just in y'all dating history for everybody who ain't answered, let me just reiterate the question. What's some of the ways that a lack of self-awareness has shown up in y'all's either current relationship or previous relationship?
And this could be about us or them.
Yeah, that was.
I was. Go ahead, Sayeda. You want to go?
No, I was just wanted to clarify, like if it were I was lacking or the other person was lacking.
Either way, whichever one you want to tap in on.
I've always been aware. You know what I'm saying? As y'all know, I'm a chameleon, so I see myself from the table. You get what I'm saying? I've been like that since a young boy. You get what I'm saying? Since I knew I wanted to be better, I wanted to be way more than what I seen. So I always just looked at it different. You get what I'm saying? I take people for what they are. Goddamn me, and if I agree with the foundation things that's match mine, then we gonna rock with it, right? Every woman I ever dated before my wife, like when we broke up, like I knew what was gonna happen in their life. You was gonna become a baby moms, you know what I'm saying? You was gonna go right back to the hood. All of them, to this day, all of them. You know what I'm saying? And some of them, if they pissed me off, I told them what was gonna happen in their life. Fast forward, shit didn't happen in their life. I'm like a prophet.
Oh my God.
Niggas always got to go too far, man. You got to watch.
Hey, it's the truth though. It's the truth, man. I've always been like that, and to be honest, I've never met another person that sees it like me. You get what I'm saying? Like that'll make the sacrifice like me. You get what I'm saying? But I am big on, if I burn the bridge down, I care less if I need it. I'd never go back. You get what I'm saying? I'm really big on that. I never look back. You might as well take all the mirrors off the car. I'm not looking back. You get what I'm saying? So, but I only burn the bridge down when you do something to me. I never fuck over nobody. I always try to make sure I'm always square with people. So when people cross me over, I just be looking at them crazy, and then they wonder why we don't speak in years. So
I'll go real quick. I'll say just the need to be right in my relationships. A lot of relationships I've been in, or just dating in general. Not saying the women on the panel, but just women that I've come across, even if it was on something light and casual, a lot of times you couldn't tell them if they was wrong about nothing. I don't know if they came from their circle, people, family, whatever. But it was like, as soon as you had an opinion that was opposite of them, or you just telling your truth or what you see, it was like it was an issue a lot of times. And so, and from my point of view, like my patience, which would definitely serve good in relationships, would also be a detriment, because sometimes it's like, okay, I don't want to just give up too soon. Let me try this way. Let me try this way. Let me exhaust almost all my options before, you know what I'm saying, I end this when I could have did it before. But, you know, I want to be that person where I don't feel like I want to give up on them on the first time, second time, something like that. Because at like for me, like giving up, I can't just give up. You know what I'm saying? I'm really gonna try to get my not saying get my point across, but again, we talk about communication and all that. So it's like, okay, well, let me try this way. Maybe if I try this angle, if I'm a little more nicer or a little softer tone, or let's hang out, do something that she likes when she's in a comfortable setting, then I bring it up. You know, it's various ways, but if they feel like they right, they feel like they right. So, you know, that's one thing that had definitely been hard. You know what I'm saying? Dating, there was just a lot of women just felt like they was right. And I was like, I thought I was crazy for a while. I really did. I thought like it was me. But then, you know, having barbershop talk with guys and things like that is like, okay, I know I'm not tripping. This person obviously isn't the one for me. It's gonna be somebody out there that understands my point of view and just accepts my realness and accepts my, you know, sometimes left field views. Like it's gonna be people out there that understand that, but you know, it takes time.
So have you stayed too long? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I have before, for sure, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yes.
I would say for me as well, I've definitely stayed too long in situations, and I can take accountability and say that I'll let people shake me. I like I was telling my therapist, like sometimes when I get so angry, my mouth gets reckless. It gets to a point where I feel like a shaken up Coke bottle. But it's like, and I'm like, oh, I can't contain it. I gotta let that motherfucker know. Like, and she's like, well, why can't you just? And I said, no, I get pushed to that point. And like OT said, or like Queen Sheba said, like, I stay too long to where I'm letting you shake me up. Shake me up, and get to that point where that ugly side comes out, because I'm letting you take advantage of my kindness so much where it's anger building up. And then I snap, and you looking at me like I'm the bad person. And I'm not able to explain why I snapped on you so bad, because now they reverse Uno on me. I can't explain, like I'm the bad guy now. So it don't matter what they did, what they were doing to provoke me to that point. Because of that moment, it defined everything, and it was all on me. So when I would get into relationships and I would snap and they would stick around, I would say, oh, well, I'm justified because and I wouldn't take accountability of like controlling my emotions. And if I feel myself getting to that point where you're pushing me, I need to leave, because I can't let you keep taking me out of my character. I am a good woman. I believe I am a good woman. That's why you stick around. But then you see that other side of me and be like, oh, ugh. Like, and it's like, because I allowed you to keep shaking that bottle up. And then when I snap, it's like, you're the bad person. So I would definitely say I've definitely stayed way too long and forgiven relationships and holding on to relationships because I was scared. I was scared, and I had abandonment issues. So it was like, oh my God, somebody's leaving me. Somebody's leaving out of my life. That was hard for me to accept. So I feel like for me, that's like, I lack self-awareness that I had abandonment issues, that I lost a lot of people in my life. So when somebody would walk out of my life, it felt like a death. It felt like, man, that person died, so it was hard for me to like holding on to toxic people, and they were just making me toxic and damaging me more and more and more. So
I feel you. Hey, I really pride myself on being extremely respectful, especially to women. Like I really, really, really pride myself on that. Like I don't want no women ever say I, did something wrong or talked to her incorrectly, touched her inappropriately, like none of that. So I always try to create a safe environment. So when I was in this situation and she like I literally transformed into a whole nother person. And so that's when I decided I was like, yeah, it's time to go because I'm calling you out your name, I'm disrespecting you. And she would look at me like something was wrong with me, but I'm like, you turned me into this. Like you must have wanted this. So I'm matching your energy. So now you see how it feels. And now you don't like it because deep down, I really can do this shit better than you can, but I choose to be reserved. Like I can really get down. You just don't know that, but I try to be respectful. I'm a gentleman. I'm a man of my word, you know, all this stuff. But once you disrespect me, I gotta go past your disrespect. That's just how I'm wired.
I gotta. Yeah, when you go low, I'm gonna go to hell. I don't know if that's a Libra thing or what. We gonna go.
We going. Oh, you want to go there? Oh, we okay. Let's take a tour. Let's take a quick tour.
What I have to say, one of the things that happened in my past relationships is that I was probably not aware, because at the end of the day, self-awareness is of the ability of being conscious of not just who you are, but your values, your emotions, your actions, you know, like all that, your standards, boundaries. So I think that was my biggest you know, mistake. I wasn't respecting my boundaries. I would see the flags. I don't want to call them red flags, but I would see the signs and I still just let them pass. And people will see them and tell me, and I was just, you know, it's fine. I can make a difference in this person's life, but it's not good. So, you know, that I would say that was where I was not being aware of myself and my boundaries.
Yeah, I agree, man. I throw in another one. Just like being in a relationship, man. Like when you like really love somebody, it's like a gift and a curse. It's a gift because you know it's beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Y'all enjoying each other, y'all building something, y'all doing this you know, you like really love this person. You enjoy being around them, you enjoy being, you know, all of that shit. But it's a curse because sometimes you'll get so deep into that shit that you'll forget who you are. So in terms of just self-awareness, you know, and it's messed up, man. But sometimes it gotta take something drastic for you to be like, damn near slap yourself like, wait a minute, why the fuck am I dealing with it? Do she know who I am? Or do they know who I am? You know what I'm saying? And it is messed up because a lot of times you are like your ego, especially as a man, like your ego will push you to go show. Oh, you forgot. Okay, well, let me go show you. And now that's doing way more detriment to the relationship than it should have. But my point is, it should have never got there. We got to find a way to maintain that balance, man, in terms of being super invested in a relationship, but not losing yourself in the process of it. And that shit is hard to juggle sometimes because you don't even notice it. It's like O was talking about earlier. He said, I turned into somebody totally different. And he's right because I know exactly the relationship he's talking about and I didn't recognize him. And that's my blood cousin. You know what I'm saying? But you know, Kenny as well. Like we can go down the line. You know what I'm saying? In terms of some shit happening, you be like, bro, who are you right now? This not my nigga. This not who I know. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure me too, and in some instances. But it's just wild how that work, man. So, you know, I just want to advise people, man, you know, just don't get so invested in the situation where you lose yourself, bro. Like stay you. If that person can't accept who you is, it's time to move the fuck around.
Yeah.
But if I got to turn into somebody else for this to work, it's not the space I need to be in.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that thrive in the chaos?
Okay, Smooth.
You're the only one that's not self-aware.
No.
Am I the only one that thrive? Hey, for real.
Diana threw that in.
I don't thrive when shit going like this here. I don't thrive in that.
Look, I'll say Smooth. I see your point, but I don't want to go back to that hellside condo that I have reserved when I'm on that bullshit. So,
yeah, and I ain't even got to be on no bullshit. It can be on some hating ass shit they doing or they didn't see it. I just got to show niggas who I really am out here.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Surprise!
But see, look, real quick, the fucked up part about that and what I mean by losing yourself, right, is I got to show you who I used to be.
Yes. Yeah.
That's the problem with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because now I'm a more evolved person now. I'm in this relationship. I'm more calm. I'm more laid back. I'm not as toxic as I used to be, right? But you bringing, like, you showing me shit that to where I'm going to have to rewind the clock and show you who you playing with. And that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should never get to that point. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you're in relationships, man, relationships is complicated.
It shouldn't get to that point, but it does because we lie.
Yeah. Well, we lie to ourselves.
Men and women, we lie to ourselves and we lie to each other. Mm-hmm. We, you know, if you stop it here, it won't get there. We allow it to go all the way there, and then we go the F off, and they like, you tripping. No, I'm not. I've been dealing with this for about 6-7 months, and I didn't say anything. So I think it's important to be honest. Start calling people out, and you can call people out without like being aggressive and or too assertive. You can start saying, actually, I'm not cool with that. I really don't want to go into detail about that, but that's a deal breaker for me. There's ways that you can really let people know, I can't promise you that I'm gonna be able to put up with that too long. We lie, y'all. We lie a lot. We lie through silence. We lie through patience. We lie through, I'm gonna let you make it today. Stop lying.
Yeah.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
I was just gonna add, because I appreciate y'all said that. I was thinking of, currently I'm learning what it really means to release control, because what happens is you constantly have to release control. And I didn't realize how much, even when we have these conversations, this and the other, like doing it in the moment is very, very difficult, because that means that I'm a person where I shut down. I don't really like to people telling me stuff that just seem little, like I just told y'all. So me, if it's something I could deal with on my own, like I just want to be quiet. But when you're in a relationship and somebody's trying to cover you, they want to know how to everything, the little things, all those things. And it's like, I suck at trying to act like nothing is wrong with me. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like the trying to be quiet and trying to also realize, okay, this is the part where you can't control how you feel. You have to always release it. And I think for me, that's probably like my only problem, is always releasing it and knowing that I don't have to try to control every situation. It's okay to not know. Let that man handle it. You know what I'm saying? He can handle it. You're with him. Why are you with him if you don't believe he can handle you? You know what I'm saying? He's conquered other bigger tasks. You should just be a walk in the park. So I would say for that. And me knowing that, I love what Queen Sheba said. I really learned now. I say stuff, but I wouldn't say it like that. I'm more of like you got me fucked up. Like if you think this shit flying anywhere in this house, or you know what I'm saying? Or like Trill was saying, it's not no. I gotta remind you because you forgetting. Like it's not even bringing up old shit. No, you forgot. So I gotta tell you. And every time you forget, I'm going to remind you. So if you don't want to be reminded, stop fucking forgetting. No.
Lucky, I call it a courtesy before I go off. It's like a courtesy flush, right? When you use the bathroom in somebody else's house.
With women, like
right?
you got the right one. That's a warning. You know what I'm saying? I'm self-aware that if you go a little bit beyond this, I might hit you. You know, or it might get violent. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes people just keep pushing. But
we're not condoning violence on this podcast.
But at the same time, I feel you though. I feel you at the same time.
I don't think it's necessarily about a bad thing. I think it's also, you can be very aware of your triggers, but sometimes you have to let other people know. You have to respect mine, because I'm still a person. God gave me happiness and anger, and it's a time and a place. And right now it's looking a little bit foggy, and I don't know if this is the time or the place. So I'm trying to let you know. So yeah, I feel y'all.
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, Lucky, because like in the last one, when it kept push come to shove and like the lack of respect there, I resorted to emotional terrorism. I knew what she liked about as far as like on the sexual aspect. And again, if you use sex as a weapon, it could be an issue. So things happened to where she was thrown off. She almost burnt herself cooking food. She was done because she wanted to make a point after I got injured at work. She wanted to sit there and argue and keep things going and think she's going to talk to me in some kind of way. So again, it goes into knowing your boundaries. And if that person can't respect them boundaries, they have to go. You can't give them a timeout and think they're going to come back and treat you any better. They know your triggers and they're going to pull them whenever you allow them to. So you give them enough rope to redeem or hang themselves.
You got to know your triggers too and get the hell out of Dodge. That's a part of self-awareness, because a lack of self-awareness can get you killed, can get you in trouble, can get you in jail, cause you to lose your job. So you're just as much as responsible as knowing your triggers. Actually, that's your primary responsibility so that you don't fall. You know what I mean? Out of character.
And you're right, Queen Sheba, because like I have a scar on the head to prove it. because I was working at Houston at A to Z Tires years ago, and metal pallet would have flared in, fell, split my head open. And I tried. I went to the hospital. She was there, but she decided to wait till I got my head stitched up and X-rayed to go in my apartment, search my laptop, and accuse me of cheating, which I wasn't. And she wanted to argue while I was sitting there, injured.
Wow.
So it goes into showing that person does not respect your well-being, your space, or your health. That is the opposition. You need to clear.
Did you break up with her right there?
I tried to sit there and see past that, and at that time,
he wanted some chicken noodle soup.
Boy, I'd have broke up with her in the hospital. Man, these nurses.
It's love, man. It's love. It is not that easy to walk away, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people will sit on these panels and they get to saying, "Man, hell, no, I'm out. I'll be gone." But it ain't that easy, man.
It's not easy, but
it's not easy.
I have to say something that, and I have noticed that on men, and I guess it has to do with the fact that they don't express their emotions or feelings. Yeah. That doesn't seem that you're weak. You're just expressing, because what I've noticed is that we tend to, as women, we tend to say, "Oh, I don't like this. You did this, lie, complain or not, whatever you want to call it." So we say it, and then after we say, "Oh, you did this," that's when the man comes with, "Oh, but you have been doing this and you never mentioned this before." And since he never mentioned none of that before, we think that, "Oh, we're perfect. We're not doing anything." And when they are mentioned that we're doing something, we take it as like, we're going to a defensive mode, because it's like, you're just saying this because I caught you on this, or you're doing this. So I think the importance of saying and addressing things when it happens, like, I'm not saying that was the right moment, Ronan, please no, because definitely that you have to have some empathy and, no, that's disrespectful to me. But, the right moment to do things, to say things in the right way. If I'm doing something, I really will appreciate that my man tells me, like, you should stop, you don't do that, I don't like it, or whatever. Because I will appreciate it. If I'm not doing good, I'm not doing good.
And I get what Smooth is saying, because yes, that is a logical answer. But at the time, my biggest fear was failure on my watch. I took that seriously. So in a sense, logic was not even in the conversation. Like, look, I can work through this. Mm-hmm. Better for worse, in my head, I'm thinking, mm-hmm. And again, you nearly got killed because of this character. This person nearly got you fired. So you had to look at yourself like, you know what? This is, and I told her, I said, look, and we sat there and got to an argument, says, you let me leave, I'm out of here. And I slammed the door right in her face because I had enough.
If you let me leave.
Bam.
So again, it's like, it gets to a point where you either have to choose yourself or the lie you want to live. Either way, there's consequences on the end. So taking ownership of it, I said, you know what? I'm good. I've had enough.
Bro, I'm with you 1,000%. Because when I was fed up, it was an argument. I remember I told them right after it happened too. It was an argument. We got into it. I was so done to the point where it was like, today is the day. I don't give a damn what time it is. It was like 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock, something like that. We got into it. I said, that's it. Pack your shit and get out my house. And she was like, you pack it. Yeah. I said, say less. Because if this saving the conversation between me and you, I'm good. Give me your shit right now. I'm loading your car up. Get out my place. Like, it really got to that point.
How many boxes?
It was like, it was little
bags.
Yeah, it was called bags. It was them little totes. It was like them totes. It was like 3-4 totes, couple suitcases. I loaded all that shit up that day. I said, get bye. I was done. But I knew it shouldn't have got to that point. You know what I'm saying? Because there were times where we split up, she gone for a couple of days, come back, yada yada. So it should have been the first time it happened.
Yeah.
It should have just been what it was then. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like Ronan's saying, you know what I'm saying, I'm trying to work these out, I'm trying to tough it out, things like that. But no, you can't. Certain people you just can't. Some people just ain't working.
This the individual who faked a pregnancy try to keep me.
I just feel like when women try to like move on.
Ronan, I need you to come off the platform. The dating platform.
I had to take time out. I'm cool. But at that time, it's like, and the thing is, she knew how I felt about children. When it comes to kids, I'm accountable about mine. I feel about legacy. That's important. And we had an argument before. She talking about, well, what if I got pregnant? I said, first of all, I will make you abort that motherfucker. Because that baby between me and us, that's child abuse. What we got going on is not going to be healthy for the child. And I'll be damned if you sit there take the child away from me. You have a problem. I will A-Town stomp your ass for my child.
Again, on this platform, we do not promote violence. My boy speaking metaphorically.
No violence.
He's speaking metaphorically.
No violence.
But
you gotta plant dope on it in. You know what I'm saying?
I said allegedly.
Bag or something.
Yeah, allegedly.
Call the police. Hey, look at what she got on my child.
Too much power for you.
B. Taylor, go ahead.
No, I was gonna go back off of OT where he said he just reached a point where it was like, I'm just done. Like, I remember, and this might sound like crazy, but I remember when I was like done and I was like, man, am I really walking away? And I'm driving, I'm crying. And then something just came over where I'm like, and I just started crying like a psycho person.
It was
like,
a relief.
You can't even cry no more. You like, fuck it, it's done. It's done. Like, I can't even cry no more. I'm like just drive like a psycho. Like, that's how it's it takes a lot to get to that point. I feel like, especially for women, because we will try and try and try and try till we can't try anymore. Because when it ends, at least we can say we tried. We tried. We fought to the end. And I can't ever say I didn't do my part. I didn't ever say that I didn't try to fight for you. I really gave it my all. And that's why a lot of women stay too long, because we really do try to give it our all and until we can't anymore. But then at the end, we're left depleted and we got to clean up our own mess. And that's the hard part of staying too long, because you lose yourself in the process.
It goes back to
Can I ask you something?
Oh, go ahead.
Because you said, because they try. I always thought, and I want to know y'all thoughts, because y'all saying it's hard to leave. Maybe because I ain't never been deep like y'all. Maybe because to me it's easy to leave. The hard part is
the trauma response. I wanted to say that earlier when you were saying that. That's the first thing I thought of.
Not even trauma. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in the idea of what we think the shit is.
That's what it is.
So the hard part when you say we stay because we was fighting. Sometimes people stay because it's comfortable. I know how we fight. If I leave somewhere else, all they gonna do is cheat on me too. So I might as well stay here. You know what I'm saying? I don't really have that much experience. I'm not dismissing yours. So I'm just saying, like, what is the fight? What's the difference in a person fighting and a person being comfortable when we say it's hard to leave? Like, what makes it hard to actually leave a situation you are not happy in?
The one thing that women say why it's hard to leave is because we invested so much time.
Yep.
We invested so much time.
I'm going to say fear.
It's fear, but we also invest so much time. It's like we put in so much time with this person. Why? It's like a project, an incomplete project. And it sounds crazy to say it like that, but it's like when your heart is on the line with this, it's something that you don't want to just walk away from so easily, because you don't ever want that thought of, what if I could have made it work, when you see them making it work with somebody else. That's when that fear comes in.
But most women do that over and over and over, man after man after man. And that's where I think, Lucky, correct me if I'm wrong, keep me honest, where you're saying, how do you exhibit the same behavior, the same loyalty to each man, high, low, dog, gentleman, professional, broke, busted, disgusted? And they shouldn't. I'm going to jump in. Like, I really think women shouldn't. And that's where I think a lack of self-awareness comes in. Right? Women be implementing the same game plan, the same blueprint for every Negro. And you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. There should be some that get one phone call, never make it past what you doing. Good morning. Right? But women exude so much patience out of fear. And we call it feast or famine. Feast or famine. Like, there's a shortage of men. I don't know if one will ever come by my way again. So let me jump on this little bitty text. I know he's giving me a little piece of a something, but I'd rather have a piece of a something. And I'm not saying that's your situation, B. Taylor. That's not what I'm saying.
But a lot of women think like that.
But when I'm talking about majority of women, most women react to men, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, the same way. And I don't think they should. That's all I'm saying.
I'll say in my personal experience, like, it was not just ego, but it was pride. Because me put myself as the head, I said, this is something I can fix this. I can fix this. even though it was shown it was all fucked up. I can unfuck this. I can do this. I've got out of situations before. I can make this happen. But then you're mainly trying to fist fight with reality and losing every time.
But you know what? When you hear about those stories of, I was watching a video where a woman said she used to record her arguments with her husband, and it was really bad. He was overweight. He looked stressed and stuff. And then I guess they got to a place where they know how to communicate. He didn't lost weight. They all at the beach having fun. And they were talking about how they overcame a storm in their relationship. And I feel like I personally don't know like the difference in that, because relationships are work. Trill even said it, you can lose yourself in a relationship because of how much you got to invest in it. And, you know, so it's like people don't know the difference. It's like you see people say fight for love, but then they be fighting for the wrong love with the wrong person. But then when you fighting for love with the right person, it's like, do you walk up? So a lot of people walked away from some good ass relationships because they couldn't resolve a simple conflict, or they couldn't put in the work to resolve certain issues. So a lot of people are walking around and pass up their husbands and wives because it's cool to cut people off so quickly. And that's why I call it a trauma response, because you don't tolerate nothing. You don't even try to resolve. You don't even try. It's like all self, you know, like everybody's all self nowadays.
But there has to be like a weeding out process.
Yeah. Do you think you could be self-aware but not have situational awareness? Because you could be self-aware but not have aware of the situation. No? Okay.
Nah, because if I don't have situational awareness and I'm in the situation, then I by turn lack self-awareness. Like I was watching a video earlier, right? It was a nigga in Detroit. I think they was in a restaurant or something. One dude was sitting down. He had on some Cartiers.
Oh, some Cartier, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they had like a dude that was around him, right? Like it's a bunch of people in the restaurant, niggas waiting to put their order in. Dude sitting down, the order table right here, and dude standing at the order table, but he kind of just pacing. The dude sitting down, got the Cartiers on, and dude just pacing. And like dude never flinched. He never repositioned himself. He never nothing. Like if anybody that got self-awareness, anybody that's had situational awareness,
he moving
I'm gonna notice that. Wait a minute. This motherfucker moving too much. Let me face him so I can, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on. But he didn't. And the dude that was standing at the window turned around, pulled his shades off his eyes, and ran out the restaurant. So, you know, again, dude sitting down didn't have self-awareness, because self-awareness is understanding the circumstance I'm in at all times. Whether I'm in a relationship, whether I'm in the hood playing spades or dominoes, a bunch of niggas walking around, or whether I'm in a party and it's, you know, and everybody done been in that party where, you know, niggas about to fight, or, you know, somebody about to pull a gun or something like that. It's like, wait, am I paying attention? Hold on, this nigga right here looking a little suspicious, hand in his jacket. For one, he got a jacket on, it's 85 degrees outside. Wait a minute. It's a bit of a red flag here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, situational awareness and self-awareness is the same thing, because yourself is in the situation. That's my take on it.
That's a good one.
I agree.
But real quick, and we're gonna get to the second drawing in a minute. Just real quick, I want to announce, man, if y'all have not liked the stream, make sure y'all like the stream. The link is at the top. If y'all have not put y'all Cash App names in, make sure y'all tap the link, put y'all Cash App names in. We're about to do the drawing in just a second. If y'all have already put y'all names in, don't bother doing it again. It's just gonna kick your name out, right? We're just gonna keep it real here. So don't even bother. But for everybody who haven't put their name in the spin wheel, go ahead and do that now. And you know, it was something y'all saying about leaving a relationship, and I can't remember who said it. I think it was Ronan, but I don't want to go further in this podcast without breaking that down a bit more. I don't think women understand how much it like hurts men for our relationship to fail. Like, especially when we love you, like when we got love for you and we in this thing together, and, you know, we building something and we going somewhere, for that shit to end, that's soul crushing to a man. Now we might move like it's, I'm good, bro. I'm at the club. I'm on these hoes, whatever the case may be. But on the inside, nigga dying. So in terms of like, why you don't just leave a relationship, you know, whatever, or when you feeling away, or if it ain't good, like it ain't that easy. Because if the relationship ends, and especially a marriage, which is a whole nother level of investment, right? Like when that relationship ends, it's a failure on our watch because we the leader of that family, right? So if that family couldn't survive, that's on us. Like like just be honest here. When any relationship ends, what's the first question they ask? Damn, what'd he do?
What'd he do?
That's just how it goes. So like men have that mindset and we move with that because we the leaders of the relationship. So we gonna go above and beyond to try to make sure this shit work. Now he could be out in the streets doing his thing, all type of foul shit, whatever the case may be. Right. And I'm not one to excuse that. But just because he's doing that does not mean that relationship ending is gonna hurt him any less. Because if we done made it to the point of marriage, or we done made it to the point of longevity in a relationship, like I really care, but like I love you to death. Like I sacrifice myself for you. So for that to end, we take that hard, like real hard, even though we don't show it. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't want to let that go by because I know it's easy to say, oh, he was cheating, he had hoes, whatever. He gonna be good. Whatever. He gonna get on these hoes, and he might, but he gonna be crushed inside, and those women gonna have to pay for it. If we're gonna be honest.
And Trill's telling the truth because like those two back to back, and they were kind of long relationships. I had to take a 4.5 year sabbatical. I had to really take that time away from everything. I was able to function, I guess, outside society, but inside, straight hollow. Just I had to piece myself together at that time. And most people don't talk about that because, yeah, you're supposed to have this armor. You ain't, impenetrable. But you look back at where you failed. You looked at where you made wrong turns and obvious mistakes, and you got to eat them L's, and they do not taste good at all.
I have a question for the men.
Okay.
So you guys are saying, we don't know how much it means to you guys when the relationship does not work out, when you give your all. For women that have not or don't have a metric to establish with the man, how do we know what your all? If you just had to give a general description for women, this is when he's given his all. This is where he's kind of tried. And this is where that nigga is just taking advantage of you. Can you kind of give us some insight?
Yeah, I would say, and this is the like metric that I like tell women to pay attention to. Like, how much of his routine has he changed for you since you came into his life? If you're going to determine how much this man cares about you, right? Because women we don't care about, our routine don't change. You're going to get in where you fit in, or you're going to be left in the dust. That's just what it is. I'm not leaving my routine. I'm not leaving the way that I normally do things to accommodate you, right? But when we love you, it's different. We gonna move some shit around when it's date night. We gonna, you know what? Okay, you don't like that? All right, that shit is out. Let me get rid of that, just to make sure that you in the most comfortable space possible. Like trying new things, for instance, like me and my old lady, right? I'm a simple guy, right? Like I like to eat just. Look here, give me some Whataburger, man, some McDonald's, shit like that. I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? A bottle of liquor, I'm good. But her, she like traveling, she like skydiving and zip lining and all type of just wild shit, right? Things that I would never do if it wasn't for her, right? But because I love her, I'm gonna go on these trips begrudgingly at first, and then you get on there and you fuck around, and end up liking it, right? The same thing.
You might learn something. You might learn something.
Yeah, so it's like that aspect, and then we could even break it down to an even smaller level. TV shows, niggas like look, we gonna watch ESPN. We're gonna watch some gangster documentaries, you know what I'm saying? A couple military documentaries, different shit like that, and we good to go, right? But your girl come in there with that reality TV shit, and at first, begrudgingly, like I just said, you like, damn, you watching that shit again? Whatever. But meanwhile, this shit playing in the background while you at the refrigerator getting out, a beatbox. And you twisting that cap off, and you like, damn, the conversation going. Say, damn, baby, what that nigga David do? He did what to Tanya? That's crazy. But see, again, getting you out your comfort zone. So in terms of how invested that man is, bro, you got to pay attention to how much of his routine is he willing to change for you. And that's gonna show you how serious he is about you. If he ain't changed the shit, he's still doing the same shit he was doing. I got the same routine that I had when you got here. Your worth is not that high.
You might be my duty.
Hey, that's a fact. Cause boy, hey, I couldn't tell you none of these killing shows before I met my wife. Now I know it's First 48, Fatal Attraction, Wives with Knives. You know what I'm saying? All
Jeffrey Dahmer.
All that shit. You hear me? I be more invested in her. Hey, remind me. You know what I'm saying? I be more invested, goddamn me. So hey, everything he's saying is the truth. And I done got to the point where I give up ESPN. Fuck it, I got the app on my phone. Fuck it. I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping, man. I like this show not too, goddamn. Hey, we used to go, like, I used to get me, I'm a simple nigga. I get coach on the plane. We all going the same place. Hey, I get the bottom tier room. My wife not like that. My wife want top level everything. As far as like trip shit, first class, she want the nice room. And if she get there and they got a nice room, she ain't know about it's available. We upgrading, all that. And I used to be like, what the man? What? $600 for the upgrade, man. And then I get in the room and be like, you know what?
The platform. I'm on the first level.
The show was right.
Yeah.
And then in turn on me, like the effect they have on me now, when I look at trips and shit, I'm looking at the top tier level of things. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, he right. If he don't change for you in the stuff that you like for real, he don't really like you for real
at all.
Yeah, real rap, man. So, all right, man, we gonna pay these bills. But like I said, make sure y'all entering y'all names in the chat, because immediately after we get done paying these bills, man, the next $100 giveaway is coming. Syed, I got the wheel ready, and we gonna see. But the minute that we stop paying these bills, we gonna stop we gonna cut off the entering of names. So y'all got all this time to do it. And if y'all ain't like the stream, man, make sure that y'all like the stream right now. First and foremost, Kid Darkness 00 with the 2-piece. B Taylor on that juice box. Beatbox B Taylor. Beatbox Taylor's in the building tonight, man. That's a fact, man. Salute to the game. Xavier in the building. Don, my boy, let me host. So, hey, man, salute to Don, man. Straight up, man. The first hundo winner. If y'all wasn't here when bro won. And we're gonna give away 2 more tonight. Like I say, one after this and then one at the end. $100 each way. So make sure that y'all enter to have a chance. BZ with the 5-piece, all facts. I blame sisterhood. Stop lying to your girlfriends. You know damn well she too big for that outfit.
Hey, I see people putting their Cash App in the chat. You got to put it in the link that's up there. It's pinned up.
Yeah, that's facts. Honest citizen. If women initiate dates, they'll be self-aware.
That's a whole nother show.
Like the first date.
Hey, boy, that's a whole different caliber.
Girlfriend date. I'm taking my friend out date. I'm taking my man out. Like
next Wednesday, we're gonna unpack women initiate. See, this is why I love y'all, man. Y'all always provide content, subject matter for us to expound upon. Next week, we're gonna get down to the bottom of women who initiate.
Because I'm taking B Taylor out when I get that first YouTube check, because she put me on, baby, and she know what my account looks like right now after 6 weeks. So we finna do it. Yeah.
Gunshot in here. I like check.
Let me see it.
I like the way that sound. That's big money right there. I like how that sound. All right, where we at? Spencer with the 10-piece crew season. Salute, man. We appreciate you, Spencer. Straight up, man. Tapping in, showing love, big dog. BZ, Trill AC, the Hood, Dr. Phil. I wouldn't go that far, man. But you know what I'm saying? Salute to Dr. Phil, bro. I'm just up here giving y'all my experiences, bro. I ain't telling y'all nothing. Like I say all the time, y'all know. Y'all tapped into the pod. I ain't telling y'all nothing I researched, nothing I studied. I lived it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you till you can take that shit to the bank. That's for sure. Xavier, Trill, you do it because it hurts. That even try you like that, given your history with them. That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact because of how much love you done showed them, bro. Like, Like how many sacrifices that you done made for them. It's another thing that women don't. I don't think women understand how many sacrifices men make for the woman they love within that relationship. You know what I'm saying? So for you to play me like I ain't who I am, God bless.
God be with you.
Real rap. Omar, the 5-piece crew season spitting out facts. Man, we appreciate you, big dog. That's love. DJ Dub 9K with the 10-piece. Too many people, mostly women, but men do it too. Give toxic people 50 chances. Then they get bitter and go to the opposite extreme. And if the next person breathe wrong, it's done.
Niggas start coughing. You know what? I'm tired of this shit. Let me get a pie.
Yeah, I noticed you use a tissue to blow your nose. You gotta go.
I'm out, man. I'm out. Man. I can't do that shit. We go out there. Gavin with the 5-piece. It's called compromising. At Trill, I'm the same way. If she's happy, the relationship will last. I agree, but make sure you happy at the same time. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us was brought up on that happy wife, happy life shit. And that's why a lot of men died 43. You know what I'm saying? Different shit like that, man. You got to make sure that you happy. You got to make sure that reciprocity is taking place. There's nothing wrong with going all out for your woman. I would never tell you nothing different. Because for one, she made it to marriage or she made it to longevity, right? So she deserves these things. But make sure that you getting equal compensation on the back end. It ain't got to be monetary. It ain't got to be gifts. Gratitude is what men value, right? So make sure that you getting it. That's all I would say to that. But salute to Gavin. Antoine with the 5-piece. If you haven't hit the like button, you are disqualified. That's a fact, man. Make sure that y'all tap the like button, man. What the hell is y'all doing, man? Straight up. You know what? Let me cut this. What a button that cut this damn live off. Yeah. But yeah, so we about to get this thing rocking, man. Syed, I go ahead and cut it off. Anybody who ain't entered their name, you asked out. You got to wait until the last round to win this 100, man. I'm excited, man. Who about to win the hundo, man?
You know
Let me see.
Let
me get the cash out.
A vessel. I need lunch for tomorrow. I got work.
I need gas tomorrow.
Yes. All right, cool. So Syed, with it whenever you're ready.
Nope.
Here we go. Here we go, man. Let's get a round of applause now while we're giving away this money.
Shuffle. And the winner is...
Damn, I got to get some Jeopardy music on here or something, gang. I got wings.
Yay!
Let me get you.
Yay!
I got wings too.
That's a nice little happy hour.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You got a lot of wings at happy hour for a hundo.
You got wings and Henny now.
Goddamn me.
Going outside costs $100.
Goddamn
man. Y'all make sure that y'all salute them. Let me make sure I got the name right. All right, I got you. Let me send. Wait on the confirmation. There we go. Tap in, man. I got wings, man. Y'all make sure y'all clap it up. You get another
Congratulations.
Congratulations, man. For sure. It's like y'all got some more cat.
Integrity pays.
Sneaking in. What was that other one that? Oh, this one here. Kid Darkness with the 5-piece. Women deal with so much toxic men, they leave men for using their instead of them.
Oh man.
Ciao.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
definitely me.
BZ RP Coolio. That's a fact, man. RP Coolio, man, a legend. You know what I'm saying? He passed away today. Unfortunately, I just found out on the chat. I seen y'all comment about it and shit. I went to go look it up, man. But rest in peace to Coolio, for sure. All right, we're gonna move into the next question that I got for y'all, and we're talking about the lack of self-awareness, and like we got to get down to the foundation of it. Like, what do y'all feel like that lack of self-awareness stems from? Because a lot of people have it. I would say most people have it, right? So where does that lack of self-awareness stem from in y'all lives?
Trauma.
How
One of the
you
things
raised?
about trauma is it puts you in a mindset to be stuck. So a lot of the times you develop defense mechanisms to certain things. So you have an unhealthy way of handling things or seeing yourself a certain way because you developed another way you choose to see yourself. But one thing in therapy, sometimes they tell you to operate in delusion when you're going through certain trauma so that you can picture yourself in different situations. And sometimes people develop those defense mechanisms in their life. A lot of things can be traumatic if you moved a lot, if your parents divorced, a lot of things, if you went through a breakup at a young age in high school. So you develop certain defense mechanisms where you start to see yourself as the person you want to be able to get through things instead of who you actually are. And then when you're in relationships, that person's job is to tell you the things that you may not be aware of. So when they're telling you those things, you're going to have that defense mechanism up that says this is, from your traumatic experience. So I would say trauma.
Yeah, this open panel. I'm not calling names. If y'all want to jump in here, what do y'all feel like this lack of self-awareness stems from most? If y'all
I
had to
think
pin it to something.
I think it comes from how you were raised. Yeah, I think it's on your parents to kind of instill that in you, to be aware of your emotions, to be aware of how you treat people, how you treat yourself, how you allow people to treat you. Because if you have parents you were raised by a narcissistic mother, what kind of child are you going to come out to be? You're not going to be aware because it's your mom until you get older and be like, dang, my mom was narcissistic. She was a narcissist or whatever. So I think it just stems from childhood. But as we get older and adults and mature and gain some sense of, oh, I keep repeating the same routine. Why? And then that's when you're like, oh, I want to change this. I don't like the results that keep happening. So let me as an adult take accountability and change that path because I can't change what happened to me. I can understand why I am the way I am and why I made these mistakes. But now it's on me to change that path and get on a more ideal path or a healthier path that benefits me.
I agree. I'm a backdoor off of B. Taylor. I think it is a learned behavior from childhood. I think as children, we witness adults who act out of control, spiral out of control because it's my house. And in my house is my rules. And you can get the hell out if you don't like it. All of that. You know what I'm saying? Forgetting that these are little people with little feelings, right? And the behavior and the language that you're putting in front of them, this is like textbook for them. And you treat them as if they're non-factors. You don't realize that in the moment, but that's what you're doing. You're treating them as if they're non-factors because you're not pouring your best into them. You're pouring a dictatorship, do as I do as I say, not as I do. And what happens is, as children, we witness disruptive truth as opposed to a gentle and loving truth. A lot of parents in the Black community are very disruptive and toxic, as opposed to gentle, patient. But then would drag your ass in church every Sunday and expect you. Come on now, let me log off. Okay, y'all.
No, you speak.
You preaching.
Hey,
You
that's a
preaching,
fact.
goddamn congregation. Let's get a little.
I had a mother like that, boy.
I know Black parents are off limits, but they failed us. But we're gonna talk about that at a different time.
Hey, I had a mother like that, boy. I feel you, goddamn me.
Okay, I feel you on all levels. Woo.
I agree.
Hey, I also no, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Ladies first.
So thank you. So I agree with part of Queen and B. Taylor, but I also think that that will be victimizing. Oh, I'm blaming my parents again, right? To a certain point, yes, but I am adult now, and I am aware, I am self-aware of that what is about being self-aware. So I think it's more like low self-esteem, because being self-aware means that you understand and accept yourself with your flaws, your good qualities and also not the so good qualities, and you're confident enough to accept yourself and be like, it's not about you telling the world I am this, I am that, and the negative stuff out there. No, but it's more like accepting and knowing how to control that. So it's more like a low self-esteem to me. Like you don't accept yourself the way you are, and you're putting yourself like, oh, I don't have flaws. I'm perfect. Like even though we know that nobody's perfect, so it is okay to have those ups and downs every now and then. It's just about how we control those things.
Yeah, man, I'm big on what you just said too. Like I feel like the moment you jump off that porch and you calling yourself grown, you making grown decisions. All that my mom and dad and all that shit, I was raised this way. What you gonna do to change it? What's your foundation? What you believe in? You get what I'm saying? Like how are you gonna be resilient to this shit? Because in my opinion, most people when they get out their parents' home, they like shit, I never do my kids like this and all that, but they repeat the cycle. You get what I'm saying? So I'm like I'm big on like the moment you step off that porch, bro, all that shit that you was taught for real, man, if in you don't really believe that shit, man, go do something else. Be something else. Be the direct opposite. If everything around you was chaotic and toxic and all that type shit, be the exact opposite. I guarantee you're gonna get better results. I guarantee you. But most people are scared of that though. Most people are scared to go the direct opposite way because when you going that way, your own parents gonna talk to you crazy. Like, why are you doing that? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And that scares a lot of people. You get what I'm saying? But with me hearing it, I just was like, I'm gonna show your motherfucking ass one day. You know what I'm saying? And then the moment I got on top of this shit, I just looked back, looking at my people, looking at me like I was the savior of my bloodline. You get them? Yeah, on that type of shit. You get what I'm saying? But I will say this though. A lot of people that I see do it that way for real, they turn their back on their family. You get what I'm saying? A lot of people that do the opposite, like they stop talking to their family, have it rocky all the time, all that shit. And then when they have kids, they keep their kids away from their family. I'm not built like that. You get
Are
what I'm
there
saying?
some family members you should turn your back? At
That's
what
true.
level are there any offenses that you should back away from your family?
That is true. That is true. But I feel like once you become the leader, when you the right leader, let's say it like that. When you the right leader of your bloodline, people gonna take your word as something different than what they ever seen. No matter if they 40 or 50 years old. You get what I'm saying? My mom's never seen nobody buy a crib. My mom's never bought a car off the lot, off the showroom floor until she seen me do it. You get what I'm saying? So she had to, in a way, bow down and listen to what I was saying. And then when she started hearing me, when she actually started hearing me, it changed her life. You know what I'm saying? My mom's went and bought a brand new house she thought she couldn't afford. Went bought a car off the showroom floor, looking at another one right now off the showroom floor. And that would have never happened without me, without her seeing me doing directly opposite of what was going on, and then me coming back and giving the information. You get what I'm
At
saying?
what point is there a deal breaker where you can say to anybody that's tuned in, you don't owe them anything?
Oh, I don't owe you nothing.
What parameters? Because we, as people of color, Latin Americans, Asians, Middle Easterns, Blacks, we have a loyalty complex. We have that built into us.
Yeah.
But at what point, if you could give any advice where you say, at this point, if this has ever happened to you from your mom, your dad, your uncle, you really don't owe them anything.
Matter of fact, you don't owe nobody, man. The only person I feel like you owe something to is your kids, right? You don't owe your parents a damn thing. They chose you. You didn't choose them. Because if we all had a choice who our parents would be, everybody would be rich. That's just what it is. You get what I'm saying? So I'm a firm believer. I done told my mama this to her face. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. You owe me the world. You owe me everything because you chose me. You get what I'm saying? But in the midst of all that, like you just said, like where's the breaking point? The breaking point for me is you still being disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? Like if I tell you something is disrespectful, I expect for it to be dead at that day because I'm grown now. I'm a grown ass man. You get what I'm saying? I'm not coming to you as your child. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to you as as a pillar to this family, so to speak. You get what I'm saying? And I should be respected as such.
So what would
So,
you say about men who because your mom listened to you, right? And her life
mhm,
is better because she took that knowledge and
mhm,
listened. But what
mhm.
about those moms that just want to ride the gravy train off their son's back and want their sons to be their provider, like they're their damn husband, like they want them to provide for them, pay their bills, give them money, even when the son is struggling, they still asking for money.
Cut them off. And if
Yeah,
your man can't cut them off, he ain't grown into a man yet.
yeah,
That sounds
That's
like a
good.
song.
yep, that's true.
And
Mama
people
Bummy.
say, "Oh man, that's your mama, that's your daddy, and all that." Man, you don't owe them shit.
Yeah.
You don't owe them nothing. You don't owe them nothing.
But it's a lot of moms, and I'll say it's from personal experience. I felt like I had to give my grandmother my little McDonald's money to earn her love. And it was like I wouldn't get attention or validation from her and or like niceness from her until I gave her some money. And then it took my uncle who passed away. Right before he passed away, he told me, he said, "Don't you ever give people more than what you don't even have. You gave her all this money, you don't got nothing left for yourself." And what did that do? She went right back to being who she is. And he taught me so much about keeping money for myself and not giving too much out, because I was trying to pay people for my love. Like I was like, "Oh, look at me, I'm gonna give you money so you can accept me and love me." And that's why, like, I don't believe in that. Like, I'm not about to buy my mama all this stuff and take care of her. Like, no, that's not my job. So I agree with that. And it's like so many black men, I hear them say, "I can't wait to buy my mama a house and a car and this and that and that." Knowing your mama not financially responsible, knowing that she is money hungry, she gonna keep asking for more. She gonna want you to donate money to the church. She gonna want you to buy her sister a car. Like, she gonna want to make it seem like that's her money.
Hey, but I will say this though, like when I was a young boy, man, in my teens and shit, this when I first started hanging with being Kenny Tough. Like I was changing my life and shit. My grandmother was on her deathbed, right? But I'm over there a lot. I'm like 18, 19. I'm over there a lot. Right now, my whole life growing up, my moms and my aunties would tell me like my grandmother was a mean person. You get what I'm saying? Like super mean. But she never gave that to me. You get what I'm saying? She never put that energy in me. And during that time, you know what I'm saying, with me finding myself in them ways and hanging with them, I'm over there one night. This the day she died, the night she died. I'm over there, man. And she just was like, "Hey, I don't want you to say nothing. I'm just gonna give you something." You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking, then she stopped me and she was like, "I don't want you to talk. I just want you to listen." And she basically was like, "You the one, you different. You different from all of us." You know what I'm saying? Like you see it different. You carry yourself different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is. I know you don't know what I'm talking about and all these type of things. And I was so young. And so now I'm fresh off the streets type shit. I'm still selling my little weed, trying to hide it from my partners and, you know what I'm saying, hang out with them and shit just to put some money in my pocket, right? But that night she caught a stroke and died, right? But that conversation always stuck in me, right? And as I started getting a little bit older, met my wife and shit, you get what I'm saying? Like, I just started seeing like everything she was telling me. I started seeing it. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm totally different. Like if you meet, they know my brother. You get what I'm saying? But if you meet my brother ruthless. You know what I'm saying? My brother.
Shout out to AD, man. Real
Shout
one.
out to AD, man.
Dog.
But when my brother was younger, he'll beat you up in a second. He can not like something you got on, man. He gonna steal off on you. That type of shit.
Come on, man.
You know what I'm saying? But
Oh my
but
God.
as we start, but he got that from my mom's. My mom, she'll snap on you, like not knowing. Like the first day she met my wife, type of shit. This is when she was my girlfriend. Snapped on her. My wife didn't even know her. Yeah, I was trying to hide my actual life from my wife because my wife never met my brother and my mom's when I was in college and shit, right? And when I left it, I was like, look, my family different. You know what I'm saying? Like they not like me. They gonna say what they gonna want to say. You get what I'm saying? Like it's no filter with my family. And first day she got that, she told her moms and her sister, "I just want to put my hands on this mama." You get what I'm saying? But I had to teach my wife, like, hey, bro, like my mom's is my mom's. But whenever we get to that level, I'm gonna set that boundary. And the moment we hit that level, I set the boundary on it. Like, hey, all that talking crazy, all that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll never see me again if my wife feel disrespected ever.
Wow, that's a man right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
Thank you for sharing.
And
That
from
was
that day
beautiful, for
on,
real.
you know what I'm saying? From that day on, man, they just been best friends for real. My mom's toned it down, you know what I'm saying? Got it together. And shit, they talk more than me and my moms do, to be honest with you.
As they should. But thank you for sharing. That's beautiful, for real. Because a lot of Black women need to know how to, because I feel like a lot of Black mothers feel like their sons, depending on her emotional state, I know they like to throw out, oh, I worked hard for you, but it depends on her emotional state. Some Black mothers look at their son as their intimate partner and not sexually. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, a very deep emotional connection to the point that she becomes disruptive to him having a sustainable long-term relationship. So thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I mean, that mother and son love, it is different. It is different, and I will say that I don't. But I would want my son to be a man and grow up. I think a lot of women are connected to their son. They call them their kings because boys love their mother. Like it's a different type of connection than with a mother and a daughter. Like, yes, my son, he'll randomly just come up to me and be like, I just love you so much. I just want you to know that I love you. Just randomly come up to me and hug me out of nowhere. Or he just know, like, when I just need to be hugged. And I said, I know God gave me boys because he saw that I needed that extra love. And I feel like it's true, but mothers don't know how to, like, okay, that's when they're small and they're younger, but when they are a grown man, that you got to let him go and be a man.
And see, I'm glad you're aware of that, because with you raising boys and you understand that, you get what I'm saying? Like, it's your job to teach your sons that, like, hey, bro, like, when you get you a real woman in your life, your wife type of thing, I am second. And when you have kids, I am third, fourth, fifth behind your actual immediate family. I become, you know what I'm saying, beside that. I'm not first to that. I don't sit on side of that. I am underneath all of that.
Yeah.
And I feel like our community don't teach our men that. So they still be little boys when they 30, when they 40.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. I think just to answer the
oh,
question.
Roman, what's up? What's up, baby? I hear you. I see you raising your hand.
Go ahead, Trill.
Yeah, no. I mean, just to tie a nice bow around this thing. I'm sure y'all was in y'all bag. I had to step away for a second. But just in terms of where it stems from, especially in that last segment of the situation, I think, man, we failed to learn self-awareness from our parents, and I get it, because they try to overcompensate for what we're gonna have to deal with in the world, right? Especially as a man, I can only speak from a man's perspective. Like, this shit is hard, bro. Like, when you go to school, like, having I'm talking about from a young age, like, you gotta be tough. You can't be no pushover. You can't let nobody play with you. You gotta watch for women trying to manipulate you. So it's that aspect of it. But it's just rough. So I think why mothers love their son so hard is because that's probably gonna be the only gentle love that he gonna get. Because even if the dad is in the home, more times than not, that's tough love, right? Because your daddy's just preparing you for what's outside, but your mama is a counterbalance to it. You know what I'm saying? So I think in that, though, causes a bit of a lack of awareness, right? Because, like, when I get outside, especially as a boy, I feel like, man, my mama gonna cover for me regardless of what I do. Right, wrong, indifferent. I can go out here and rob somebody. I could be out there selling drugs, whatever the case may be. Police looking for me. I can run to my mama and she gonna lie for me. My baby is a deacon at the church, junior deacon. He ain't never did nothing like
She
that.
owe that to you, baby. She owe that to
every
you
day. You understand me? But she gonna do what she got to do. So as a man, like, that's our safe haven. And the irony is, I don't want to just put it out there like like your girl can learn something from your mother, but in that sense, she can. Like, be your man's safe haven, the same way that his mother is. Because one thing about me, like, I'll never like envy relationships. I study them. Right. So this is the thing that a lot of women go wrong. I don't mean to beat up on women, but a lot of women go wrong in that aspect with the mothers, and they go wrong in that aspect with a man's friends. Right. And the reason I say that is because you be like, damn, like whenever he with his friends, he's smiling from ear to ear. He having a good time. It's carefree. It's, he just done. But when he with me, I don't really get that side of him per se. He's happy, but the smile ain't the same. He's joking, but the laugh ain't as loud. Right. So most women analyze that and they'll get jealous of it. But see, again, I'm the type to like analyze more so than get jealous. And I think women should adopt that, understand why he feels that way around his friends. Because it's carefree. I feel like I can come to my boys and tell them anything and they ain't gonna judge me. But fact is, when you're in a relationship with your woman gonna judge everything. Everything. Even shit that you didn't mean to be flagrant or you didn't mean to be attacking. She gonna take it that way a lot of times. So what does that do? That prevents the man from communicating the way that we should or the way that we would without. Right.
I'm gonna push back on you, Trill.
Okay, cool.
Your woman is not your friend. Your woman is not your mother.
Sure.
At what point as a man do you carve out a space for her to be her to you in her own unique way? Because she'll never be your homeboy and she'll never be your mother. Those are two separate things that are unique and different and special to you. At what point as a man, do you say, I need to lessen my expectations and let this woman bloom in the space that God has planted her in my life? That's why you get different seeds with flowers, right? If we were all supposed to bloom the same way, we will all be the same seed. So at what point does a man realize that he needs to lessen his expectations of his woman, not because she's less than or she can't accommodate him like his mother does or like his friend does, but because she is her own person and she fits in a different space?
I would say never. And I would feel like she should be more invested in me than my boys and than my mama. And again, we talking about marriage because anything outside of marriage don't mean shit. My wife should be more invested in me than my mother is, should be more invested in me than my friends are, right? So in terms of having that safe space for me to come to you, it should be even more so with you. Not saying you got to take on all the roles of my friends or all the roles for my mama. That's not what I'm asking you for. I'm asking you for that level of investment, that level of lack of judgment, that level of investment from you. Or, again, you just not, and again, you understanding like the like where shit is coming from. I think like, and what I mean by that is this, right? Just like in terms of giving constructive criticism. A lot of women, like I said, because your girl takes everything personal, right? Let's talk about food. Your girl done cooked a 5-course meal, whatever the case may be. You come home, eat it. You like, damn, baby, look, man, his macaroni ain't really hitting like it's supposed to be hitting. Guy. I ain't gonna lie to you. Meatloaf a little dry. You know what I mean, I just feel like you can do a little bit better, right? You can say it in a joking way, but your girl's gonna take that personal, right? That's gonna cut. That's gonna hurt.
No.
And then she'll probably
hurt my
follow
feelings, but I'm gonna be embarrassed and it's gonna hurt my feelings. But I'm gonna make sure that I'm like, oh, what? Oh my God, what can I do to make you better?
Right. But what I'm saying is remember the context of where it's coming from. Just in constructive criticism in general. I'm your husband. I wouldn't say nothing to hurt you. So you shouldn't take nothing I say personal as if it's malicious. Nothing. Okay. Don't matter how much it hurts your feelings. Don't matter none of that. But oftentimes women do, right? But again, all we asking for is for when we be around you, it need to feel like home every time, regardless of where we are. And if we don't get that feeling, then the relationship more times than not is going to crash and burn. So just to answer your question directly, I'm not saying that you take on all the roles of my mama. I'm not saying that you take on all the roles of my friends. But you should be less judgmental and more of a safe space than all of them combined. If you my wife.
I'm going to leave it there. Y'all go ahead. That was good though, Trill. We can't fuck with you after that. I'm hold on, give him a pause. Pause. We can't fuck with that man after that. Let that man have like 30 seconds.
Time for another giveaway.
That's why I say, man, sitting back and answering questions is easy. I love that. I can do that all day. But that is a hell of a question, because a lot of people can't really get that distinction. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of like marriage, and Smooth say it all the time, fuck your parents. Fuck my parents in terms of their opinion on what this is. This is our union. And we need to treat it as much. Our shit should be above everything. All your other relationships, this shit should take priority over everything if we marry. But a lot of people don't do it like that. They'll move it. Okay, well, my friends is in one ear telling me this. My sister telling me this in one ear. So that's a judging how I'm moving in a relationship, and that's wrong. So, again, marriage. Because like I say, no other relationship means shit. That's just honest.
Yeah, that's what, man. I'm a firm believer in not going to ask the parents, can I marry your daughter and all. Man, fuck all that. Fuck all that. You know what
I think it should be like that, because like a lot of women, because dads definitely can.
You know how many women marry dudes out here because of their moms told them that they should, and how many
no, I don't know,
how many men that then got passed up on, and then they should have been with that dude, and the dude that they wound up married destroy their whole life. Come on, man.
No, women do not listen to their moms, or when it comes down to men. If they really want that man and their mama like, I don't like him, I don't think he good for you, I love him, I don't care, my mama tripping,
you're taking it the wrong way. I'm saying the initial going to somebody. I'm not going to no another man asking to marry no woman. I'm not doing that.
No, that's not just a woman, that's his daughter. Does he feel safe
handing his daughter
over to you? No. Does he feel safe handing his daughter over to you?
I don't believe
in that. That's how it should be. Or a lot of women would be in more safer situations and not these abusive situations.
How many women? Man,
all I'm gonna say, I respect.
I don't know a lot of women that's getting abused out here in no relationship. That's just me. I don't know a lot.
I respect your opinion. I respect your statement of saying that you don't agree with that, but I hope that the other side also matches what you're saying, because in this case, it shouldn't matter if she doesn't have a father, as an example, because you're not respecting that role. Mm-hmm. So if you don't care of asking for permission, then you shouldn't care if she does have a father or a role in her life.
Yeah, I don't care about none of that.
All right,
me and you. We riding or what? You riding with this train or what? Yeah. If you got to go ask somebody, is you riding on the train? You ain't grown enough yet. Get out of here.
Because I hear a lot of men saying, oh, women are like this because they don't have fathers. But when she has a father and she has a role and she sees someone with certain values, and those values are not the ones that she sees on that man, then you feel like, oh, she's asking for too much. She's asking for a father or whatever. So it kind of has to be.
Hey, but you know why? You know why? Because if I have a daughter, my wife's pregnant now, we don't know what we have, right? But if we have a daughter, right, I am going to tell her, hey, if you really love this man, whichever man you pick, don't make your decision off of me liking the motherfucker, your mama liking them up, your friends like. That's your decision, right? Just tell me why I gotta be with the Tucks. Don't ask me, hey, don't tell him, hey, come, hey, you gotta talk to my dad, and just tell that nigga to tell me why I gotta be.
No.
You get what I'm saying? Because
Absolutely not.
At the end of the day, that's your decision.
No, but that's your daughter.
It's my daughter. It's my daughter before, when she get married, yeah, you still my daughter, but I'm second.
Now, it's not about second. It's about concern. You remember we talked about sustainability, reliability, and I forgot the first one. That's still your lineage.
I understand that.
That's still your bloodline.
But you got to realize this.
Your level of concern needs to trump his. So if you need to show up and bust out a couple of windows, you need to do that.
Nope. You know why?
No, I kid you not.
This is what I'm telling you. If you're not taking the lessons that I instilled in you as you seeing me move as a man, you wasn't paying attention.
That's not true.
That's true.
That's not true.
It's true. You wasn't paying attention. Me and your mother been here 30, 40 years. But by the time she was old enough
you're
to marry,
forgetting your walk. Now you're forgetting your walk because it took you some time to get where you were. There's some people that probably wish you would have got on board way sooner, Smooth. And I'm loving your story, but you were not. It took you some time. So give your daughter that same grace.
Took me some time to do what? What you mean?
To navigate, to learn, to implement.
To learn, implement what I wanted,
process,
and all this type of thing.
Life's lessons.
My situation is totally different from any other man I've ever met. I knew where I wanted to go, and I knew I was gonna get there, regardless if I had a woman with me or not. Regardless, but I knew, me being who I am, naturally, I know with me getting some bread, that put holes in me. Like today, like with some money, I don't trust people with money. No one. I don't trust no one with money. So I knew if I would have got some money before I got a woman, I'd have never had kids.
But let me say this. I'm not telling you how to run your child because I think they're thinking that. I'm just saying subconsciously there needs to be a level of concern in the background, whether you speak it or not. That if that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
While they dating, I'm definitely gonna feel brother out. Yeah. Of course. But if y'all decide to make that leap, I don't want my opinion to affect none of that. But while y'all in a relationship, of course I'm gonna say, "Oh yeah, that's a good brother," or "Hey, what brother got going on?" No, I'm gonna be asking questions and I'm gonna be looking for his responses and things.
Gotcha.
But the initial step to marriage, you gonna know how I feel regardless. You gonna know. Okay. But if that's your decision, I want it to be your own decision. This is what you making. Right.
And maybe I misunderstood you. I thought you were saying once she makes a decision, I don't have an opinion. I don't care. But
no. I'm definitely gonna have an opinion.
Okay.
But it's gonna be the opinion before the marriage. It's not gonna be right then and there. I don't think you. No, I'm gonna be telling you that before.
So what if your daughter will come to you and say, "Dad, I want to marry this man, but I want to be safe, and I know as a woman, I can't tell if he is right for me. But you know me, you raised me, you've seen me since I was out my mother's womb. Mm-hmm. Can you let me know if this man is for me?" And you meet him. Isn't that something you will want to meet him first before he takes your daughter down the
Queen Sheba, like through the relationship, like, because you ain't gonna get married to somebody the next day. You know what I'm saying? Then that just don't happen like that. You get what I'm saying? So through you dating this person and you bringing them through, because of course, you know, women like to show off good men. That's just how it happened with their boyfriends and bring them to family functions to see how the family react. I'm gonna be filling them out from that day on, right? And the moment I see y'all get serious, then we're gonna have some real conversations. What's his plan like? Where he see himself? Because I know when I die, I'm gonna leave you some shit. You get what I'm saying? But if I feel like his leadership is not what I think it should be, and I know leadership is different in many different ways. But if I don't feel like it's gonna push our bloodline forward, I'm not leaving you nothing. I am going to make that very clear.
Okay, because that kind of contradicts what you said earlier when you said, "I ain't mean nobody daddy. I don't care what he has to say."
Yeah. But I'm saying it. I'm saying it in a way of after they hit the serious part of the thing, and she didn't heard my opinion and all that. Hey, I'm with you whether I agree with it or not.
Yeah.
But on the back end, as far as giving you lineage, if I don't agree with it, it's not happening. You're gonna have to build it by yourself.
Yeah.
You get them. But if I agree with it, of course, when I die, hey, this is a little change for y'all. This property over here for y'all. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is for you. You get what I'm saying? But either way, I'm with your decision. Don't mean I agree with it. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right, man. Hell of a discussion, man. If y'all ain't like the damn stream, what are y'all waiting on, man? Make sure that y'all tap in. We're going to pay some bills. Same routine as last time, man. I think that the giveaway link is pinned to the chat. Sayada, you can go on and open it. And then, if y'all cash apps ain't in there, make sure that y'all add y'all cash apps. It's going to be the last giveaway of the night, $100.
I like this discussion tonight, boy.
Come on, man. I had a feeling it was going to be special. I said that before this thing started, man. But this shit is, you know what I'm saying? I ain't going to lie, man. Salute to everybody on the panel. You already know it's love. But yeah, so make sure that y'all entering y'all names into the drawing. Cash apps only. If y'all done entered y'all name already, don't try to enter another name or don't try to enter the same name over. It's just gonna kick your shit out. So don't even waste time. If y'all already entered, y'all good. If y'all ain't entered y'all Cash App into the chat, make sure y'all do it now. We're gonna pay some bills, and then we're gonna do the drawing. We're gonna bring a couple people on stage. And I got 2 more questions before we wrap this thing up and get up out of here, man. So first and foremost, man, family is in the building right now, man. Salute to Shan, man. That's my dog right there. It's family. Shan said, this is what support looks like. I challenge all the men in the chat to put up half this amount. And remember, the quote-unquote law of reciprocity applies to super chats too. Come on, brothers, pay it forward. I need 20 men to put $10 on the table. Man, salute the bro, man. That's love. But bro always showing love. So, yes, sir. Quadia Stevens with the 10-piece. Just wanted to say Trill, OT, and Smooth appreciate hitting me back on the ground. I'm just thank you for having me. Think of a better self for me and my family. Y'all are organic and natural. First donation. Quadia, we appreciate you, bro.
100.
That right there is family too. Tapped into the pod, man. Bro been supporting for a while, man. We definitely appreciate you, bro. Real rap. Sheldon Ward, family again. That's 5-piece. This is an epic episode. Great dialogue, family, and salute. I agree. I agree, man. Salute to everybody on the panel. Y'all came with it tonight, man. I knew it was gonna be decent, man. What y'all done took it to a whole nother level. Kid Darkness with the 5-piece. Women deal with so much toxic. Oh wait. We already read this, right? I think we have. Mm-hmm. BZ with the 10-piece. I see you, OG Shannon Ross. Look, folks tapping into the 10-piece that Shannon demanded from y'all, man. Salute to BZ. We appreciate you, bro. Dub Will with the 5-piece. Super late. Gonna have to watch the replay. Still want to show love, man. We appreciate you for tapping in, bro. Replay is full of gems, man. Make sure that you tap into it if you ain't. And it's about to get a little better. Nat P with the 10-piece. Appreciate it, bro. Book of Shan. Let's go. Look Shan influencing out here, man. Shout out to my dog. Schoolboy Game with the 10-piece. I got you, Shan. Appreciate you, Schoolboy. That's love, bro. Real rap. Let me see. Devoted 7 Game with the 10-piece. Showing love again. Appreciate it, fam. That's love, man. Like I say, man, y'all show us so much love, bro. It's only right. It's only right that we give back to y'all, man, for sure. Antoine with the 10-piece. Abandonment is a serious thing with parents present and not parent. Man, especially with the parents present. This right here might be a whole episode, man. We gonna
write that down, Trail. You want me to write it down?
Yeah, definitely.
That's a whole other episode.
Yeah, because we're gonna be honest here. 2-parent households and the parents being there don't guarantee success. That's all I'm gonna say on that. Honest citizen. A daughter wants protective love from her husband like her father gave her. A son wants nurturing love from his wife like his mother gave him. I would agree with that. I would definitely agree with that. Last but not least, Spencer with the 10-piece, man. We appreciate it, bro. We appreciate it. Salute to Shan, man, coming through, man, influencing, man. Like I said, if y'all ain't tapped in, that's Shannon Rawls on YouTube, man. Make sure that y'all follow and make sure that y'all tapped in. If y'all ain't, what the hell are y'all doing? All right. The drawing. Hold tight. Let me Saida, you can go on and cut it off now. Anybody who ain't got their name tapped into this motherfucker, you just gonna have to catch us next week, man. And it ain't gonna be 3 next week. It's gonna be 1.
Nah.
This was the inauguration. You know what I'm saying? Real quick, man. Salute to Sheldon Ward. We appreciate it. Like you said, I'm with you, Sam. That's love, bro. But yeah. So next week, man, we gonna keep this thing going. You know what I'm saying? I like this whole vibe, man. Just giving back, man, giving away. It's gonna be another hundo next week. At the point during the pod in which it's given away, y'all gonna have to be tapped into the pod or the live stream, pardon me, to find out. But hold on, let me post the link. So we're gonna bring up a couple people to discuss these last 2 topics that we got.
Okay.
And then like I say, it's a drawing time. So Sayada, you ready to go? You good to go? All right, man. We're gonna get into it, man. Who was the last winner of this hundo? Hold on, let me open up Cash App.
I can't. Finger go to Q, Queen.
All right,
Sheba.
there we go.
I'm not a lucky man, but I'm feeling lucky tonight.
Lucky he's riding off of your coattail.
Okay.
Steph Tina, man. Congratulations. Hold on, round of applause. Congratulations, man. Hold on, let me make sure I got the name right. Whoa. Hold on. I'm having trouble finding you real quick. Hold tight. Let me see. Let me start over. Hold on, Step Tina, you sure that's the cash app?
Better make sure.
That's what it's showing me, man. They're saying they can't find it.
Uh-oh.
Would you pick another
one?
one?
Have to do a redo.
Might have to do a redo, gang. You said money sign Step. Hold on, let me.
They had one job, and it was to enter the cash app, whatever correctly.
Damn, Step Tina, man. We're gonna have to miss you, gang.
Spin it again.
Well, Sayada, go ahead, run it back.
Run it back.
Run it back.
Rewind.
Let your boy get this.
Look
how you said you hear my prayers, goddamn.
Okay.
Marriage Cave. Congratulations.
Cave.
Man. Hold tight. We're gonna see. Marriage Cave. Yep. Let me see.
Yep.
Make sure. Yep. We good to go.
Okay.
We good to go.
Hey, and everybody that wants some money, I need y'all to hear me loud and clearly. I'm praying on your downfall. Yeah.
I'm praying on your downfall.
Cause I ain't winning.
Go on, send me and B Taylor to happy hour, Smooth.
Congratulations, man. Round of applause. I need to give her a round of applause, man. Hold tight.
Hold on, Smooth. Or send us some ramen noodles, because you know B Taylor like noodles.
Hey, noodles. Girl, noodles not allowed in my house.
And a bag
All right,
of
let me see, man. Who we gonna bring up here? Let's see. We got everybody there is family, man. Salute to Dame up here.
What's up?
Hey,
What's up?
Alexander, hey man, hey, I show you love on the price, man. I show you love on the price of a bullet, man. If you wanna, I got Bitcoin bloodline, so we talking. They usually going for like 8,000, but I'll be so for you, man.
Hey, hold on, real quick. If y'all got YouTube on, man, Matt, make sure y'all muted. Muted. Go ahead, Smooth.
Nah, but he say let him hold a bully. I say, hey, bro. They usually go for 8,000. I do 4 for you. I show love and give you 4. That's half off. And you can put it on payments. Fuck it. You can put it on payments. I ain't tripping.
Real rap. All right, man. So at this point, man, we're gonna have a little bit of fun on the stage. You know, tonight has been full of gems and vulnerability and things of that nature, man. But it's time to have a bit of fun. And on the topic of self-awareness, who would y'all say is less self-aware? Women or men?
Come on, man.
We ain't got everybody don't speak at once. Look, B Taylor's up off camera in the middle of the pool. She
Okay.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
She ran from that bathroom break.
That's an easy one. That's an easy one. It's definitely going to be women, but with a caveat. It's like because both women and men kind of don't hold women accountable to a lot of shit. Like women, like I think somebody said it in the chat earlier. You know, they know women's nature is to kind of nurture and try to develop, and they want to protect people's spirit. So a lot of times they tell people stuff that they shouldn't necessarily be telling them. Like I think somebody said, you know that dress is too big, too small for you. You know you ain't supposed to be wearing that. You know it don't look good on you. But instead of saying, girl, you know that dress too big, or you need to take that thing off. You're looking ridiculous. They're like, girl, you working that dress. You know that dress is what's up. Ooh, don't you catching them right there. That's your freakum dress, you know. They're telling more kinds of stuff. And then on transversely, Men lie to women because they want access to that box, so they don't want to be coming with the truth too often as well. So it's like they're getting it from both ends. It's like we got they sisters and moms not holding them accountable, and we got men not holding them accountable because they don't want to lose access to the box. So it's just like it just stands to reason that women would be less self-aware because society doesn't make it to where they don't have to be self-aware in a lot of cases.
I beg to differ. I think
I'm sure
men
you
are
were.
of course. Yeah, I'm an advocate for women all day, every day. I stand 10 toes deep, but
okay.
I have 4 brothers. So I came up in a house full of boys that didn't have to do shit but eat and shit and go to sleep and go play. I mean, come on. Let's
So
just
you blaming them?
So you're saying the men are less self-aware?
No, I'm just giving you some background before I get to that.
Okay.
So I'm saying rest in that. So I'm not coming out of nowhere. I have 4 brothers, period.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I think when it comes to developmental stages, men are not required to be self-aware as women are. Men, that's just a boy. He hit you because he liked you. Nigga, you shouldn't be hitting on me, period. Let's just start there. And then how do we flip it? He hit me because he liked me. And then you say, well, if she don't want to be abused, I'm just saying, I'm jumping all over the place, then she should leave. But I was taught that he hit me because he liked me. I'll stop there. I don't feel like I have to go any deeper.
Well, all right. Well, allow me to retort. It's just is men, society very quickly puts a man in a place, makes it, they body slams men into self-awareness. If you fat motherfucker, you ain't getting no women. If you broke motherfucker, you ain't getting no women. If you ugly motherfucker, you ain't getting no women. I mean, society body slams men into self-awareness on the daily. Ain't nobody lying to grown men. I'm talking about children is different. You know, we tell all kinds. We tell women, you know, we dress them up in princess dresses. We call them princess and stuff like that. So they have it in, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's just like what we do for kids is a little bit different from what we do to grown-ups. Like men are constantly aware of their position in society, in the community, by women, by other men. I don't think any man in this panel is delusional about their individual place in their circle and in society.
I agree with you, and I think the same applies to women.
I don't know. Women tell each other lies all the time.
No, we're not talking about our friend groups. We're talking about reality.
All right, man. Anybody else, man, want to dive in here?
I agree with you.
I like the energy. Go ahead, B. Taylor. I like the energy.
Okay, so initially when I saw this question, I was like, duh, it's men. But, you know, I did some thinking and I thought about some of the women in my life, my friend groups, and some of the conversations I heard. And there's women that are requiring men to be a certain caliber, and they're nowhere near that. You got a lot of women who are daddy girls going around thinking that's a good thing. That I'm so spoiled. I have a daddy that did this, so I'm going to demand this from men. And it's like, okay, your dad set you up for failure, boo-boo, because men ain't out here about to be dealing with your funk ass attitude. And you think you deserve everything, and you're spoiled, and you're ungrateful and not appreciative. So I think that women are less self-aware, and it cringes inside of me to say that. But I will say, I think women are less self-aware. Although I do know that men are also, but I think women are on a bigger caliber of, because you're right, we call little princesses growing up. So we grow up and thinking we're the queen, and we're probably nowhere near that. We don't act like a queen, but we expect everybody to treat us like one.
Have you noticed that?
Hold on. Just real quick, man. This is a monumental moment. I want y'all to timestamp this. This is a monumental moment right here, man. B. Taylor.
How many beatboxes have you had, B. Taylor?
Beatbox Taylor. is on this panel villainizing women, crucifying them.
No,
I want y'all to
I'm
make
not.
sure that y'all timestamp this.
Okay, because I'm about to not be her friend in a minute.
Man, see, serious? See,
because you my platform.
So you're not gonna be a friend because you don't want to keep her self-aware.
No, it's just a joke. We like B Taylor and I. We're so real with each other.
Nah, it's all love. Go ahead, Dan. You was talking, gang. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No. It's just it just kind of goes into exactly what she said. It was just kind of more just reiterating. It was like it's society's just not designed for women to be self-aware, and it's just like because it's our nature to want to protect women's to protect women. And that's what society is kind of set up to do, is to protect women in a lot of cases. Women do it, men do it. But like I said, men, right away, if you a loser, society puts that in your face on the daily. So that's what I was gonna say.
If I may, I'm gonna say women, but just from the aspect of we think a lot of times with our emotions, we hear with our emotions. Men are usually more logical, so that makes you unable to be self-aware, I would say, because typically when you're emotional, it feels like reality. It feels like it's the truth, but that doesn't necessarily tell you that because I feel this way, this is what it is. So a lot of times we react on those things. We're unable to hear in that position. So I'm gonna say, if you were aware of yourself, you would know I'm more emotional. And in this moment, I'm listening with my emotions, and you're able to tell that person, look, right now, this ain't the time. I'm probably not going to make the good decision, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to say women, because we're just programmed a little bit different and it affects us differently, but I'm going to say we both lack it, but it just shows up differently when we're talking about relationships.
And I'm sorry if I may. I think I agree with Lucky, and simply because I think the double standards also play a role in this part. Like, for women, it's like men or our fathers telling us, "Oh, you're perfect the way you are." Society telling us, "Oh, you don't have to change anything about yourself. You're perfect. Someone is gonna accept you the way you are." But for men, it's always a constant thing of like, you gotta improve this, you gotta do this to make it better, to be better, to change something, to make the world better. So there's always something or someone saying, to men that they should change because they're not perfect. And nobody is. But in reality, it's just we're not confident in ourselves, and we have to. I do agree. I don't like the fact when a girlfriend lies to me and I know that dress doesn't fit me and she's still just saying it just to say it. I really don't like it. I feel like I can trust that person. Like, I'm looking at myself in the mirror, girl. What are you talking about? I look like a clown. So that's something I have. I actually test people. Like, if I know I don't like something and they don't know me, I'm like, ugh. But I think it's a double standards that plays a role in this.
Hey, B Taylor, you need to get a beatbox commercial now. But it needs to be like beatbox. You know how Red Bull give you wings? It'd be like beatbox, the human lie detector test. You know how to tell the truth off of the
beatbox.
Man, that's why I say, man, give my girl her credit, man. She kept it
self-awareness in a box.
Wow. Look, you have those questions that you can't get answered? Beatbox.
Interrogation in a box.
Interrogation in a box. No. I think that women, men and women both, are delusional, but I think women, life is catered to them. Like the fact that you could put on an entirely different body, an entirely different hair, an entirely different face, and walk around acceptable, it promotes delusion. That's not even y'all fault in a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? You don't, like, if you had a pancake butt, you could come out here slugging the next day and then go back to the pancake and then act the way that you slugging on slugging days and then act pancake on pancake days. You know what I'm saying? You can be Super Bowl Black on Friday with an afro, and then you can have the weave down to your pancake on
Give it time. Give it time.
like man, we don't got no shoes where you could grow 5 inches and then take them off, and then you know what I'm saying. We don't got no condoms that add an extra 4 inches and some girth. It just what we got. We gonna have to adjust, live with it, and ride it down with that shit. You feel me?
Well, there's surgery for those problems.
Oh my!
Maybe I don't know.
They don't want to be down, Lucky. They got to be out the ring for about 3 months. They don't want to be down.
Damn, 3 months with no sex is crazy.
Yeah.
But just real quick though,
That's
to
empowering.
get my take on this situation, man. I feel like women. I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. A lot of women lack self-awareness, and I'm gonna speak to like within the relationship aspect. Like a lot of women genuinely feel like they do no wrong in a relationship, or they may not feel that way, but they move that way. You know what I'm saying? So as a man, like when we try to come to y'all and express something that y'all doing, y'all treat it like we attacking y'all. Y'all treat it like we crucifying y'all. Like and it's just like, nah, fam, you just was wrong here. Like, why can't you just lean into it, accept that? That's all we asking, and we can move forward with this shit. But like a lot of times, y'all will divert, y'all will, switch the topic around. Well, you was doing it. Well, you was, you know what I'm saying, instead of just taking what that man is saying, you know what I'm saying? But it stems from what B Taylor said earlier about the like, the like baby girl privilege. Like my baby girl can do no wrong. Don't care what. And the fucked up part is I got a daughter. So I gotta catch myself from implementing that. If somebody's come telling me Ken's doing hell no, she ain't. She ain't did nothing
Exactly.
wrong. It is what it is. I don't care nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'll be able to catch myself sometimes, right? Because if you raise her like that, when she go out in this world, she gonna move the same way. And the thing about relationships is we both got to be open to being wrong. If one side is not open to being wrong, that relationship is gonna crash and burn. Because again, like I said, it's constant analysis. When I meet you and where we are 15 years from now, or 10 years from now, or 14 years from now, wherever, it's gonna be you're gonna be different. I'm gonna be different. So I gotta be constantly analyzing you and constantly, you know what I'm saying? So in the process of constantly analyzing, hey baby, I would appreciate it if you did this more. Or you're not doing enough of this. And if I can't come to you and be that open and be that blunt and be that honest, we ain't gonna last. But in a lot of relationships, men don't feel like they can.
No, you shouldn't be that blunt and that honest, because a man's blunt and that honest is crucifying to a woman. It's detrimental. It's harsh. It's like you're on a football field.
That's because she's not self-aware.
I don't, I think the best lesson that I've learned about men, a woman taught me, is when a man is in a fighting mode, don't correct him, because he's not engaging with you to learn. He's going to swing on you, not physically, Lucky, but metaphorically. So I never understood that until a woman taught me that. Go ahead, Trill.
Thing is this, Queen. Queen. Thing is this, man. Is that as men, right? And this, look here, man. I gotta speak for all my niggas that been in relationships, man, long term.
Can I go next when you get
Salute
finished?
to everybody that's in the chat. But at the end of the day, like even in those moments when we pissed off, super mad, we still conscious of how y'all gonna receive what we saying. We still coming at y'all with padded gloves. It may sound aggressive, but it's still padded. Most men, especially if we love you, if you are a wife or we in a relationship with you, it don't matter how mad we get. It's certain lines that we not gonna cross. Why? Because we know we not gonna ever be able to come back from it. Compared to the other way around, right? Y'all get mad, y'all get emotional, y'all say a bunch of wild shit, right? And as men, we supposed to just take that to the chin. You know what, man? Women emotional. She was just being emotional and just let it go, right? But if it's us and we get to commenting on shit that we know is gonna be a vulnerable spot for you, we ain't gonna never hit the end of it. So even when we super mad, right? So even when we super mad, in a man's mind, it's still okay. I want to. Let me just leave. Let me just walk away before I say some shit that I'm never gonna be able to come back from.
Okay,
that's design.
Yo, I agree with that, man. And to piggyback off what you just said, I think it more so when it comes to relationships. I want to ask the ladies this question. I think I posted it in a super chat. Why is it when it comes to a relationship, the relationship is only in shambles when the woman is unhappy? When the man is unhappy, you know what I'm saying? He got to deal with that. You know
What's
what
the
I'm saying?
question? I'm sorry, you faded out a little bit.
Could y'all hear me?
Yeah, that's easy, but I'll repeat the question.
Say it again.
Okay. All right. It's a question that, like, basically, like, when it comes to a relationship, whenever the relationship in shambles is always when the woman's unhappy. But when the man's unhappy, it's basically like he got to take it on the chin. He got to deal with it. Like, if it's something that is just kind of like what Trill spoke on, basically on whenever the woman says something, does something that's not up to his liking, he's just got to take it because, you know what, this is me. This is who I am. You know what I'm saying? It's basically when I come to you and tell you something, it's always a pushback or a throwback, like I'm trying to change you, when in actuality, I'm just bringing something to your attention that's, you know, kind of rubbing me the wrong way. So when it comes to that, might be a question for everybody. Why is that when it comes to relationships, it's always the relationship is only on the rocks, only in shambles when the woman is unhappy, but when the man's unhappy, it's all right. You'll get over. You'll deal with. You a man, handle it.
I will start off really quickly. I'll give you 5 seconds, and Lucky, please take it over. Probably because men are less verbal and women are more inclined to verbally communicate. So women will most likely initiate the first level of engagement in a fight, even if it's passive and nice. She's going to throw the first punch verbally. Right? It's like HR. I learned this in corporate America a long time. The first person to tell is the winner. Please take it over, anybody else. The first person to go to HR in a corporate America complaint, they're probably more likely to believe the first person that came with the story, whether it's true or not. And that's why women win.
With all due respect, Shiva, I agree with Trill. You have no idea how many punches men pull on a regular basis. Men have been holding, they got sore shoulders from pulling back from really telling you the honest truth, because society makes it cool to practice accountability dodgeball.
Bro. And not only just that, man. It's like, look at all the flack that Kevin Samuels caught.
I don't want to forget. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I would say because men aren't used to communicating when they have a problem, from my experience and other people's experience around me. Most of the time, you don't really hear what's wrong with the man until she expressed what's wrong with her. Yeah. Then you're bringing up what's wrong with you. And it's kind of like, this is my turn. If you had a problem with it, you should address it. It's like a time period. So now that was a week ago, I don't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying? So you get that energy. So a lot of the times men, like now, we have a whole manosphere full of men saying, we're never heard. But then you have women saying, you weren't speaking up. You don't really have that, look, these are my standards. This is what I want. No nonsense type of thing. You guys kind of yield to women, because I think most of the time it's a men under their mothers who you're not really taught to communicate your emotions. So you're used to a woman talking at you and doing all that, and you're used to shutting up about it. So when you get in a relationship, you're doing the same behaviors and you're feeling like, I can't say it. You can say it, because if you're taking care of her, you should, just like a child, you should be able to control everybody in that house. But men yield to women a lot of the times because of pussy, and y'all worship pussy. So that's
and you want to know why men do that? Is the reason because every time a man comes talk to a woman,
know why?
Yeah, I can
I think a lot of men lack emotional intelligence. But
it's not even that. I don't think it's even that.
It's from the beginning. Like when Adam, we could take it back to the Bible. Ever since then, y'all fall victim to us. We gonna always be wondering. We need you to stay on focus. We need you to communicate. So I'm gonna say the relationship is in shambles because we always are given that power to control you, even in your emotions. So when you feel away, you better feel away. But when you feel away, you can't never communicate it. So therefore, you don't really get that respect because you don't really communicate.
To the man in the chat.
Hold on, right quick, Marcus. Let Uncle Stepdaddy go. You can come in right behind him. He been trying to get his point out. Let him get his point out.
My bad, bro. But to reply to the ladies, when it comes to that, I don't even think it really got nothing to do with emotional intelligence. I think of a lot of guys out here, the reason why they don't verbalize a lot of the things that they go through, because usually most of the time when they talk to a woman or they talk to the woman that they're dealing with, they usually get the throw back in their face when the woman gets angry at them. And what man will want to tell a woman something, and then when she gets upset with him, she brings that right back up in his face. It
Can I
happens.
say this? Can I say this? Just being in a relationship, it feels like when I come to you about a problem, then you want to bring up some stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about now. Or now you want to bring up how you unhappy or are you mad about this during an argument about something else. Why are you bringing up stuff that happened, this, and that, that's been on your mind? Why are you bringing up things for us that needs to be resolved during an argument?
Because we're risk
We already
averse.
here.
We are risk averse as men in
It's not gonna be,
relationships.
it feels like a tit for tat. It's like, oh, you mad? Okay, I'm gonna tell you this, and that, so you can forget about what you're mad about. And it's like one thing at a time, dude. That's why I say y'all lack emotional intelligence. Y'all don't bring it up at the right time. Why can't y'all just, we all having a good day, we went out for dinner. You know what, babe, I got some things I kind of want to talk to you about. Why can't y'all do that? Y'all want to say it in the heat of the moment where y'all are just going at each other's necks. Or y'all want to say it when she's coming to you about something, and then all of a sudden you throwing up something that happened probably weeks ago, and it's just like.
But Brittany, when is ever the right time though?
Like I just said, like when it's when y'all are both having a good time, and it's like, you know what, she's in a headspace to receive that, or even at a time where y'all, it's just like.
I disagree.
Yeah, like it's just a moment for y'all. Like y'all could be sitting down watching TV or whatever. And it's just like, hey, you know what? I want to talk to you about something.
But when it comes to that, I'm not to an extent totally disagreeing with. But when it comes to that, it's like during this day and age, especially with this whole women empowerment movement and things like that. Like there's nothing wrong with women being empowered and everything, but it's like society's made women feel like that their problems are more important. And I was like almost like a dick swinging contest to an extent.
But for
Like
the longest,
it's
women
like
problems were swept under the rug. Women weren't even allowed to speak to their husbands any type of way. Like men used to slap women in the face as in like a form of punishment for talking back to him. So I mean, women empowerment had to happen because women were shut down not to speak. They couldn't even speak before their husbands.
well,
So
I'll say this. I you know what I'm saying, I've known, you know what I'm saying, I get that, but and everything, but I don't want to come off as condescending to an extent. Because
No, you're fine. You're fine. We're tough.
when I grew up, you know, so I was born 82. I'm 40 years old. I just turned 40 this year. Born and raised in Mississippi, been in Houston about to be 10 years next year. And I was raised predominantly by both. I grew up in a 2-parent household and predominantly by my grandmother. That color purple stuff, I never seen that growing up. Like my parents actually, like my dad's in the military. He's a retired Army vet. Like, and I grew up, you know what I'm saying, around that, basically that drill sergeant stuff. But at the same time, when it came to it, him and my mother talked. You know what I'm saying? Like she had to say so. My aunts or uncles, they're all married still to this day. And they had say-sos. Like, so when I seen the color purple as I got older, I was like Kevin Summers. I never seen that growing up. And I grew up in the dirty South.
You're not supposed to see it.
But you know what I'm saying, the thing about that, I get we're not supposed to see it, but at the same time, you could tell, like, the thing about that when it comes to body language as a kid, kids know. Like, even when we were children growing up, we knew when something wasn't right. Yeah, we might not have saw it or heard it, but we could tell body language. We could tell, like, something ain't right with mom and dad. You know what I'm saying?
well, a lot of people did grow up seeing that though. That's why they're like, I don't want to end up like my mama. I don't want to end up suffering like my grandma.
Yeah, and you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say, like, I think it's more so we have to have a common ground. Like, I don't know if it was you, Queen Sheba said earlier about the whole talking it. You know what I'm saying? It's a big difference of communicating. You talk to your spouse or to your boyfriend. You talk to them, not at them. And men should do the same thing. Talk to your woman, not at her. And if y'all have a better understanding of knowing how to effectively communicate, because let's be honest, fellas, like most of the women that we've come across in our younger days, they were never taught how to effectively communicate.
Nope.
They weren't. You know what I'm saying? Because it just wasn't a main focus. So a lot of us are learning in our late 20s, early 30s. Other than the people that went to college and graduated, they have classes on there. But other than that, these people we weren't taught how to do that. And then now you're a lot of people, a lot of women are learning on the fly, of learning how to effectively communicate behind. Okay, the last relationship they were in, they trauma. So that man didn't know how to talk to them because they either verbally abused them, mentally, spiritually, all of that abused them. Now they're bringing that over to another relationship, over to
If I'm
you
not,
when you grew up in a household that knew how to do that. So
Real
All
now,
right,
quick to your
hold
question.
on, hold on, real quick, because I cut Marcus off. We're gonna go to Marcus. We're gonna go to Ronan, and then Sayeda. I'm coming right to you. All right, go ahead, Marcus.
I might not be able to get this out because she kind of acting up. But so what? So can y'all hear her or no? You can't. All
Nah,
right.
it's all good, bro. It's all good.
All good.
um, well, in the meantime, can I?
You're good. You're good, Marcus. We got you.
All right. Hold on, Sayeda. Ronan, go ahead, Ronan, and then Sayeda, we gonna come right to you.
Well, see, this is the consequence of selective outrage. When we have selective hearing, we hear what we want to hear, they hear these negative narratives, and plus, we have to get rid of this whole histrionic battle of extremes. What happened in this time period or allegedly could happen? We're talking about the right here, right now. Like when we sit there and communicate with each other, we start understanding how our respective love languages are to be effective. Then we start seeing our boundaries and respect those boundaries. That's what we're supposed to do. Not worrying about what everyone else is doing, especially celebrities and whatnot. We're talking about the here and now because it's your relationship, not living through vicariously through everybody else or your circle of friends or bad influences. This is what we have to stop doing. And it goes besides breaking the generational curses that we're dealing with. It starts with learning how to master, forgive, and heal oneself first. If you don't master any of those things right there, none of it's going to mean shit at all.
All right, Sayeda, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say that it's not the ladies in the panel, of course, but I will not defend no woman that is actually putting a man down because he's expressing his emotions. The moment that she's calling him names or saying something like, "Oh, because he's expressing his emotions," she got no respect whatsoever to me. Like that's the way I see it, because you're not creating the space, the safe space for that man to come to you and express. Imagine if he cannot even say something, he will not be able to cry if he needed to cry, because we're all humans. So that's the way I see it. Like I cannot defend or respect these people out there just not creating the safe space. And if you got to the point where you're like talking to each other and just yelling and not communicating, there were some boundaries that were not set from the beginning. There were boundaries that were just broken at that point. And both, it requires two people at that moment. So that's the way I see it. Like, yes, I agree with Uncle Stepdaddy to a certain point, but men needs to express, and right on time. I said it earlier, address it right at the moment. Like if she is tripping or if she's saying something or she's being disrespectful, you don't have to yell at her, because remember, you're not talking to another man. You say like, hey, you're being disrespectful. Even if your tone of voice is just like that, you say it, you're being disrespectful. At the moment when the disrespect is happening, you said it. So she cannot say, oh, you didn't say that I was being disrespectful, which is what we're, saying, oh, you're not saying anything, you're not complaining, you're not nagging, you're not. So that's why it is important for men to say it at the right time.
I
So
would
I
agree.
agree.
Okay,
Like,
go ahead. Oh, and then Queen, we coming right to you after you get done.
I was gonna say, Saida, I definitely get what you're saying, but I can speak for a lot of men. And it's gonna go back to the same thing. Is like, even when you're expressing yourself, no matter how you express yourself, it's difficult to express that when a woman, when she doesn't feel like she's wrong. You know what I'm saying? And so when you deal with that with several women, after a point in time, you kind of just like, all right, I'll let you have it. So unless it's like huge, that's when we're gonna bring it up. Me and my girl were just talking about this last night. Matter of fact, we were trying to learn like when it's bothering you and when it's not, because I told her like, Okay, so like the first instance, so we use, for example, going out to a club. If I go out first month, it's just one time. I'm out till 3:30. She may not say nothing, but then the second time, if I do it 2 months in a row, then that's when she's gonna address it because I did it 2 times in a row. Me, I told her I got to see a pattern before I begin to bring it up because yeah, it may bother me, but it ain't. It's not gonna ruin our relationship. It's not. You know what I'm saying? It's not ruffling my feathers. I'm not really thinking about this. I'm not losing sleep at night, nothing like that. So until it's really bothering me, that's when I'm gonna bring it up. So that's why whenever we're arguing, you didn't ran down a list about 10 different things I done done. And so I'm pointing out two that was bothering me, but I was letting it slide. So the things the our weight is completely different, you know, with things. A lot of times it seems as if, you know, women will bring it up as just trying to be forward with it, trying to be upfront, trying to get ahead of the curve in a sense. That's what it seems like. And men, we don't bring it up until there's actually a problem. And so that's why like it'll take just 1 or 2 times, then she want to bring it up. Hey, da, 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 hey, it's like God damn, you like getting on me, and this ain't even something that we actually talked about yet. This is just happened because we're in a relationship, and random things happen that we don't get to cover or discuss. So you bringing it up, and now it seems like you fussing at me when sometimes it's just a conversation. So at times too, just like men got to work on their delivery, I think women got to work on their delivery too, because it'll come off as nagging or pointing the finger or I'm trying to correct you when it's just a conversation that should be had.
Yeah.
All right, Queen, go ahead.
I'll let Marcus go because he's been waiting. And if it's enough time, we can come back to me. If that's okay.
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 Yeah. So just real quick, we're gonna go to Marcus. We're gonna go to Queen. Then we'll get to the last question of the night. So go ahead, Marcus.
Queen, I appreciate that. I had to go change the pamper real quick. So
Gotta do it.
yeah. What I was gonna say was in regards to Uncle Stepdad comment earlier, I found that as men, if we assume the leadership role and we set parameters out the gate, we also have to set the rules of engagement, bro. So like you create the space that you need in order for you to voice your concerns. And to the ladies' point, when they were saying a lot of times it be when we angry, we discussing it. I try not to ever like I've been with my wife 13 years. We've never had a fight, but I set them, you know what I'm saying, the rules earlier on. If you have an issue, calm down and talk about it. If while we talking about it, you get upset or I get upset, man, pause. Because we can't take stuff back once it's out there. You know what I'm saying? So in order for us not to even get into that realm, I understand the conversation ain't over. We're not gonna say, oh, I'm mad, you mad, walk away. We're gonna calm down. It might take 15 minutes. Like maybe something I said might have made her cry. I'll wait till she finished crying and she tell me, okay, I'm dealing with it and I can talk a little bit more now. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just about creating a space where you create the rules where there is no, I'm not in here to hurt you. So I'm not gonna say nothing intentionally to hurt you. So knowing that I'm gonna operate from that stance. And when I set those parameters, if she's following, she gonna follow those too. But you have to create that space, bro. Whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? You have to create that space.
That's true.
So you don't get to that point.
All right, Queen, go ahead.
Actually, I'm good. Everybody's covered everything I was thinking about saying.
I'm just gonna piggy off on Marcus. That's perfectly said that your wife was able to contain herself because she knows she was gonna have a space to tell you how you made her feel. And I think a lot of men don't create that space for women, which is why they explode and just say whatever they say at the moment, and their adrenaline is rushing, and then they regretfully say some stuff they should never said because they feel like this is the only time I can get this to listen, and so I'm gonna just say it. But you created a space for her to say, man, this man hurt my feelings. I'm going to go cry and I'm going to deal with these emotions so I can gather myself and come back calm. A lot of men are not doing that. They're not creating those type of spaces, and they don't realize it when their woman is trying to come to them. They call it nagging because they just think you're just nagging. Like, it's like, no, I'm trying to tell you, well, you know what? I'm going to say it louder because it seemed like you're not listening to what I'm trying to tell you because you watching a game. When is there a safe time to tell you? Because you playing the game. You got to go do this. You got to go do that. you don't feel like doing it. You want to watch a movie. Like, when is there a safe space for your woman? And I think that is the solution. Is exactly what Marcus White just said, is that you need to create a space for your woman to feel safe enough for her to calm down and know she's gonna be heard.
B Taylor, it go both ways though. So
Yeah.
for Uncle Stepdad, he was saying he needed to express what he needed to as well. And I'm saying that them lines of communication got to be flowing. Whereas, hey, can I talk to you for a second? Are you busy right now? You know what I'm saying? How you feeling? Everything cool? Okay. This is just about fixing the problem, not fighting with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
I think women get defensive because I've been guilty of that. When he's coming to me, I get so defensive, like I need to defend myself, because we don't like when a man confronts us because we like, oh my God, I'm in trouble. No, I gotta over explain myself. I gotta explain this. I gotta explain that because he may leave me. He may da. So I gotta just pretend that I'm not wrong. Like, I know women who do that because they don't like a man holding them, like trying to come down on them. They feel like, oh my God, you coming down on me, and da. And that goes to the daddy-daughter complex. It's like when your dad get onto you, what you do? You start crying, but daddy, and then daddy's like, all right, like, you take it easy on her. And that's how women grow up in life. A lot of people take it easy on them. So when you coming to me as a man about something, I'm gonna start panicking because I'm like, oh no, like, I gotta over explain myself for why I did this, why I did that. No, I think for women, I agree, we need to listen and be like, okay, if I want this relationship to work, he's not trying to control you, boo. He's trying to tell you what you're doing wrong in this situation. And a lot of women don't want to listen because he's trying to tell me what to do. He's trying to tell me how to act. He's trying to control me. No. If you want this relationship to work, listen to him. Like, and I will agree with that. And it's hard.
also one other extra piece to just throw on that. When you talk to somebody and they highly emotional, I know it's hard to do on YouTube, but let them finish their statement and wait 3 to 4 seconds before you respond, and that gives somebody a chance to fully feel heard, and it de-escalates situations.
Yeah, that's real. Like, feeling heard is of the utmost importance. Like, you can be telling somebody the realest shit in the world, but if they don't feel like you hearing them, it's gonna go in one and not the other. So I would agree. Definitely give somebody time and not only give them the time, but process it as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want you to wait to speak. I want you to take in what they're saying and then, you know what I'm saying, make your statement on the back end. So bro is definitely right about that. All right, man, we're gonna pay these last bills, man. Then we'll get to the last topic. Uncle Stepdaddy, who happens to be on the stage with the 10 piece. Parents are a child's first manipulator. I would agree 100%. And parents have to be cognizant of that and move a bit differently in that regard. Bro, right about that. Sheldon Ward, B-Box Taylor graduated tonight. Look here, man. My girl did her thing tonight, man. Give her credit. That's a fact. Kelvin Cook with the 2-piece. Quit checking my phone. I'm not cheating on you. That's real, man. Security in your spot is of the utmost importance, and a lot of women can't necessarily grasp that. Like, y'all be wanting a nigga that's lit, and y'all finally get him and still act like y'all one of his options instead of his girl. Respect the spot he gave you. That's just honest. Gavin with the 10 piece. I guess because you don't look at women in the way you look at men. There's women out there messed up like men, ugly, broke, lonely, etc. But because they always gonna have a man, if they gonna have something a man need, they gonna get by. Basically talking about that ass. Mm-hmm. Which is true. Which is very, very true. All right. Last question of the night, man. As y'all know, this is a results oriented platform. Right. So if we're gonna give some advice or we're gonna give a solution as to this lack of awareness on both sides, what would it be in terms of aiding people in gaining awareness? First, salute to Brittany with the 5-piece. Also, the convo may not provide resolution, and that's okay. Move accordingly. I agree. That should be at the top of every marriage counseling meeting. If we're gonna be honest, we may not come to a conclusion, but as long as we both felt heard, then we can continue. But solutions. Again, this is a results-oriented platform. So if y'all had to give somebody some advice on becoming self-aware or the importance of being self-aware, what would it be?
I would say consider how your actions affect others. Because when you're self-aware and you know yourself, how you speak to others, you know how hurtful you can be and how your actions can affect others. Be open-minded, be aware or mindful about your strength, your weaknesses, set boundaries. And I would say know what triggers you. What are your emotional triggers? Because when you are aware of those things, it's easier for you to, work on when someone is talking to you. You don't take it personal.
Yeah, just to kind of piggyback off of that, I think one of the things I would say to somebody was like, make sure you're self-aware enough to know that if you're even in the mind frame of where you're in a place where you can be in a relationship, because it's hard to be like, okay, get self-aware while you're in a relationships. Be self-aware of where you are and how you are perceived prior to even entering into a relationship. I just got a real quick story about the time I became like self-aware when it was that I wasn't ready to be in a relationship. I remember I was probably like 25 and I was talking to one of my boys about like some wild night I had. I think some two girls I was messing with at the same time got into a fight at the club, and I was like making a joke, or I'm gonna bring home the winner and all that kind of stuff like that. And I was laughing and I was talking to him. I was like, yeah, you know what, but I'm trying to be where you at, because he was married, he had a wife, had a cool wife, he had a kid. And he was like, but I'm really trying to be with like where you at, man. He put me up on game. He made me keenly aware that I wasn't aware of how I was looking to the women of the world. It's like, dude, I know you think you want to be out there, but it's like, but why you got that bullshit on you? Like women fighting in the club and you want to date, the women you want are going to be able to smell that a mile away, and they're going to stay away from you for like the plague. So you need to be self-aware of where you are before you even think about entering into a relationship, because that is going to mitigate a lot. If both parties take some stock to say, okay, am I where I need to be an effective and a partner in a relationship? If both people take stock, it's going to mitigate a ton of problems you're going to have in the future. If you know where you are and you know what you're willing to do and what you're willing to sacrifice for that relationship prior to the relationship. Too many people get in a relationship and try to figure it out while they're in a relationship of what they're willing to do in a relationship. And I think that lends to a lot of miscommunication.
I'm going to be quick with mine. I agree with everything what Sarah said. But also when she talked about triggers, you need to, when you're triggered, you need to find solutions on how to deal with those triggers. So if you are somebody who is like impulsive or angry, or you say things to hurt people at the time because you're angry, like that's something that you need to work with your therapist. And you and your therapist need to sit down and talk about, how do you handle that? Because a lot of people don't know how to handle their emotions when they're angry. And that's where they mess up. And that's where they mess up in relationships, and they say things they don't mean to say. It takes a lot of maturity, but it also takes a lot of healing, because it comes from a certain place of why you're so angry. Why are you saying these things? So I would say how to handle those triggers. And then being self-aware. If you keep seeing a pattern, like okay, women, we do to play victim mode in our relationships. Like when I hear my friends talk, or even when I talk, we always want to blame why the relationship ended on the dude. Like regardless, even if he cheated or not, it's like we still played a part in something. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because we like, yeah, he may have cheated on me, but I took him back. And when I did take him back, I acted like this. It's like, if you're going to take a cheater back, that does not excuse you to talk to him crazy or do the things that you're doing to get back at him, because you still hold on to it. So either you're going to let it go or you're going to let him go.
Come on, B. Taylor.
Bars. Come on,
Honey,
B. Taylor.
y'all pass the
Taylor in the
offering plate.
building.
Taylor.
Man, let's give her a round of applause.
Come on
Jesus
now.
Christ.
Beatbox
Yes,
Taylor.
sir.
Y'all
That's a
gonna give my
fact.
friend an offering today. Pass that plate around. And I'm gonna
That's
come in with
real.
my sermon of lightness. Backed by B. Taylor. Lightness. So what I mean by lightness, nobody ever told me that I could hold something lightly. I think as Black people, we hold on firmly. We 10 toes down with everything. And nobody ever gave me permission to say, come with me. I don't have to care. And I'm not talking about no F's given, because you have to give an F in order to receive love. But nobody ever taught me that I can hold something lightly and release it. So my wrap up would be to hold it lightly, see what happens. Let the play run itself. When the play is called, let it run out. See what people choose. See how it plays out. And I don't think we do enough of that in life. We jump in. We want to be the referee. We want to be the coach because we want to protect ourselves. Let it play out. Hold it lightly. Sit back and watch. That's it.
I would say I'm gonna just go from personal experience. I don't want to speak in general because I'm not a life coach. But what helped me be self-aware is I started to meditate and get on a particular schedule and have certain standards and figure out my core values for myself. Once I have expectations for myself and I realize what I can do in those things, what makes me feel this way, gain some sort of control with whoever you are resonate with on the inside. Even when you're pissed off, who do you talk to? You need to be able to understand, like, when you are dealing with other people pull so much out of you. You need somebody to pour back into you, and it might not be the person that you're dating or in a relationship with. So I had to find a way to pour back into myself. And a lot of times we always want to bring the Bible up to weaponize people, but we don't never get reverence and actually sit with yourself and say, you know what, I'm putting too much responsibility on the other person. Where do I come in at? Because once you understand that, I'm able to articulate exactly what I feel. I know even when I'm being a bitch, I know why I'm being a bitch. And at this moment, if you call me one, I'd agree. Like, I'm not really upset. There is no defense up once you become so sure of who you are. When you hear the truth, you understand who you are. So when they're saying it about you, you're able to receive it because you know that's who you are, whether it's good or bad. I think that the problem comes into when you're so comfortable lying to yourself, you start to feel like, who are you to tell me the image that I'm putting up? You're not supposed to see it. So for me, once I would say sit with yourself, get to know who you really are, get some self-care going on, get some talking to yourself. Some people go out to lunch by themselves, really learn how to like yourself. Because if you don't like yourself, don't nobody else like your ass. That's not it.
Facts.
I say that to be able to do that, old people, if you have any older people in your family or know any old people, they usually excuse me, they usually tell you the truth with no problem, right? So maybe fostering connections with the elders in your family, or that friend that you have that tell you about yourself that you don't want to hear, maybe actually take a concerted effort to listen to what they're saying. Because a lot of times the people that tell you the thing you don't want to hear about yourself, they got the most love for you to the point they willing to risk the relationship to help you out. I usually fall in that category. Like, I done ruined friendships before, but the friendships I do have, it don't matter. They gonna be there. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, like, bro, no, that's not the move. You know what I'm saying? You got to tell people the truth. You got to do X, Y, Z. Don't include me in this lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100. That's not how I'm moving right now. So just tell her what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Or like you the one fucking up at work. Or tell me, like, you decided not to go, or you spending your money this way. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? But just people that's gonna try and build your circle of people that's gonna tell you the truth and not feed your delusion. I know it feels good to hear people say great things about you, but create an Instagram page and get that from there. But the people in your inner circle, get them to tell you the real truth about yourself.
Facts.
Just want to say something quickly, piggyback off what Marcus was saying. One thing that my dad said that just goes exactly what he's saying. He's like, find your circle of people that you aren't afraid to tell the truth to, because when you tell the truth to them, they feel it's a safe space for them to tell the truth to you. I really 100% agree with what Marcus said.
I would just
Well,
say, in real quick, in relationships, just nobody is above criticism. Period. If we together for a reason. So I see something in you, you see something in me. We have a conversation about it. It's coming from a genuine place, and it's not any type of malice or anything like that. So if I had any advice to give somebody, just be quiet sometimes. Be quiet and listen and really take in what they're saying. As long as they're not disrespecting you, calling you out your name, hitting you upside the head, things like that. More times than not, it's coming from a genuine place, especially if you got somebody solid. So nobody's above criticism. Just take in what they're saying and then implement.
All right, who's about to jump in when O was talking? Was that
Uncle
Step
oh
Daddy?
yeah,
Stepdaddy. Yeah.
that was me,
Go ahead,
man.
G.
Well, I pretty much agree with everybody, man. Like I was always taught that you always keep people around you who's gonna keep you on your square and make you hold yourself accountable. Accountability is a big thing, and my biggest thing is get you people around you gonna tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. That goes for male and female, because you get to hanging around people that tell you what you want to hear. That ain't gonna go so well. Then somebody else tell you what you need to hear, you get easily offended. So when it comes to that, you just always got to make sure you have a village around you, whether it's family or friends or whoever, people you work with, all of that. And when it comes to other things, when it comes to having conversations and being able to articulate yourself well, I think we need to do a deep dive into therapy. That's something that all of us need to do. I do it for myself because of the things I went through in my childhood, grew up seeing, and I have friends and family who lost their lives and stuff, and things that I've seen. So, and it's helped me a lot in my adulthood. Now I have kids, and I know how to communicate well with people, the type of work I do. So when it comes to that, my thing is to just always be around people who tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah, I would agree, man, with a little bit of what everybody said, man. The only thing that I would add to it, bro, is you got to remember, man, like when you sign up for these relationships, you sign up for these marriages and shit like that, taking vows, like you owe it to them to show up your best self. It's not a choice no more. Like you owe it to them to be your best self, and not, hey, I'm gonna figure it out when I get there. No. Do the work beforehand. So that way, when you show up to them, you are a whole product. I always talk about, equating relationships to cars and shit, and people give me a lot of flack for that. But a lot of these analogies serve well, right? So if I'm out here searching for a car, I don't want to buy a car that I got to fix the engine to. When I pay my money for it, like I needed to come to me whole. Now, if I crack a windshield when I get it, put a little dent in it when I pull up to Walmart after I get it, tire go flat. Like my job is maintenance. It's not construction of the car, right? So you got to remember that when you're walking into these relationships, remember the burden that you're putting on that person if you ain't done that self-work. And that takes being self-aware. In fact is, more times than not, when a lot of us got relationships, we fucked up in more ways than one. But instead of saying, you know what, let me take some time and figure out what's wrong with me and fix myself, I'm gonna just jump into the next relationship and just pray that person is willing to just take me as I am, and I'll figure it out later. So, if I had to get any advice, bro, like just remember, man, when you signed up for that shit, like you owe it to them to be your best self. It's not a choice. Get right and then get into the dating scene. Get right and then get into that relationship. Because the relationship is going to last a lot longer. Because when you don't do that and you do what most people do, then you spend most of the relationship climbing out of the hole that person didn't dig. So we can't even get to building because we so busy with the fucking shovel trying to climb out of the hole that was dug before I even got here. So again, just in summary, man, show up as your best self because you owe it to them. And on that note, man, this has been a hell of a show. Like
Can
I
I
said
can I add
before we
one
even
last
started.
thing?
Yeah, go ahead, G. Go ahead.
This is one last thing, y'all, and I ain't saying that nobody on here is going through it, has been through it, probably maybe been through this, whatever like that. To add on, to piggyback on his point, always heal yourself. Make sure you're healed, because at the end of the day, when you go into something like that, you're scarring somebody. It's like taking a big butcher knife and taking that joint and just pressing across your chest real hard. Yeah, it's gonna bleed at first, but when it heals, it's gonna leave a scar.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. And on that note, man, it done been a hell of a show, man. I appreciate all the. Oh, go ahead, Ron. Go ahead, bro.
Well, I want to say in closing, it's like I got to get used to this beatbox Taylor first. This is different. This is different.
What is this beatbox y'all speak of?
Well, we'll talk about that later. But when I say when it comes to self-love, I separate it in two parts. We're talking about the warrior and the gardener. And when it comes to that gardener, you got to cultivate that land to heal, build. You know, all those generational curses you have to break. You have to till the land for yourself. The warrior part, you have to defend yourself. And you have to remember you're worth fighting for it first and foremost. Those boundaries, that sense of self, that home. And when it comes to love, you had to be one hell of a fighter. Because if you're not willing to fight for yourself, you're looking towards defeat at any moment. And that's when you learn how to master yourself, protect yourself, and learn how to heal yourself, you can extend that to someone who's earned that place on your land. That way you can extend that to them. The 4 P's, we're talking about protection, provision, problem solving, and procreation. Because when you have a significant other, you want to see the best out of them. You learn how to talk to them. You have that conversation to where you guys have this responsibility between each other. And then you have these growing pains to where you're going to go through things, but you're going to see the best out of each other rather than the worst. So when it comes to love, especially for yourself, you can't be a fucking punk.
That's
Well said. That's a great way to wrap this thing up, man. I appreciate everybody on the panel. Y'all already know it's love, man. Always. This done been a hell of a show. And I mean, I called it when we was in the intro. I said something just felt different about this topic. I felt like everybody was gonna be able to get into their bag, and y'all did not disappoint, man. Salute to Crusader Nation, been in the chat live all night long, man. Salute to everybody that won that hundo tonight. Again, hope y'all use it for something wise. You know what I'm saying? Me, don't go out there and just blow it. But you know, take care. You know, times is hard, man. Make sure y'all get some gas, get some groceries, shit like that, man.
Donate to Puerto Rico. They suffering out there, y'all. Donate to the people in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, they really going through it right now.
Right.
Seriously.
And while we at it, man, prayers to Florida. Going through that hurricane situation, man. We in Texas praying that they don't come this way, because we got a bad habit of that shit coming this way, man. So you know, prayers to Florida, man. Everybody out there, be safe, man. We love y'all. Crusader Nation, y'all know what time it is. All the mods, y'all been in the chat doing y'all thing all night. I appreciate it. Conversations done been super respectful, and you know that's what that's what we here for. Real quick, I'm paying some bills before we get up out of here. Miss Parker with the 5 P's. Don't take yourself so seriously. Everything is not a battle. I would definitely agree with that, man. Definitely agree with that. A lot of us is super hard on ourselves for no reason. Still low key 21 with the 10 piece. The waiver wire is where you win championships. Number 1, this beatbox Taylor. Look here, man. Salute to beatbox Taylor, man. She been cooking tonight. Give my girl her credit, man. Antoine with the 5 piece. The taller the tree, the deeper the roots. Understand the root before worrying about the branches. That's a fact. That's a fact. Because if you don't understand the root, you ain't got a goddamn chance. We're gonna be honest. Empress with the 20 piece, man. We appreciate it. Straight up and down. She says a man can rise no higher than his woman. Where there are no decent women, there are no decent men. The black women and black men have to be patient with one another and be better for one another. Heal, grow, and understand. I agree. 100%. Our women are a direct reflection of our leadership. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I say all the time, niggas talk on these panels a lot of times about men as leaders and blah, blah, blah. And then on the other hand, they'll say, oh, our society is in disarray. So if our society is in disarray, what does that say about the leadership? We're just gonna be honest, but that's another topic for another day. Again, like I said, man, I appreciate everybody for coming out, man, tapping in. It's done been a hell of Hell of an episode. Like the stream on the way out. If y'all ain't liked it already, Crusader Nation is love. Everybody on the panel is love. Until next week, man. We out of here,
Peace.
man. Yes, sir.